Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Hey,
every
Daddy.
day I'm hustling.
You fight with nobody.
This a dollar beat. This a dollar beat.
BoxingWords.com.
You won the bet with
Hey,
nobody.
Daddy.
BoxingWords.com.
This a dollar beat.
You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Payday,
BoxingWords.com.
payday. You want payday. I know that. Oh, look this guy. That's the plan to go for the belt, and I'm coming, man. I'm coming, my friend. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
BoxingWords.com.
Because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
BoxingWords.com.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am joined alongside some new co-hosts for today to talk some boxing with us. There was a lot of action and definitely a lot of headlines, so I'm glad that I have some people to actually bounce these topics off. But you should all remember Ray the Business. Ray, what's going on, my friend?
What's going on, Nes Vegas? Or should we
Vegas.
call you? You're in Florida right now, still, right?
I'm in Florida, man. I'm in
so
Florida.
you're like a Nes Naples.
Yeah. And we got good old Matthew. I don't know if there's any last name or anything that sexy like Ray the Business to add to that, but Matthew, what's going on?
How's it going? Yeah, Matthew Sanabria. Pleasure to join.
Matthew with the fresh fit.
Yeah. Got that Canelo Alvarez hat. We all know who he likes, right?
Yeah, no bias though, no bias.
None at all. So, I mean, lucky for you, we are talking Canelo Alvarez today. And
right.
He's going to come up quite a few times. Obviously, January 15th, Joe Smith Jr. To add to that, but Matthew, what's going on? Joe Smith Jr. January 15th scored a knockout over, his first WBO title defense. And obviously, he had some choice words about Canelo. And if Canelo wanted a shot at him, he'd be available. So we're going to jump into topic number one, which isn't about Joe Smith, and instead more having to do with Salvador Rodriguez, ESPN writer. Jose, what's up, my friend? ESPN writer Salvador Rodriguez, who has a very close Amin is there as well. Well, here we go, full house. ESPN writer Salvador Rodriguez, who has a very close relationship with Canelo. And in the last 48 hours has let out a lot of news. First thing was obviously letting us know that Canelo's choice of opponent won't be someone we're happy with. And then today he kind of changed that and he said that the pursuit will be happy. So I don't know what he meant because he's got that Spanglish going on. But Matthew, you're shaking your head. Did you happen to see these tweets? And obviously, are you Spanish speaking? Did you understand it when he said it, in Spanish? Could you make more sense of it? Because his English translation on Twitter, and it was him who wrote it in English, that just didn't make much sense for me.
Yeah, I mean, I understood it. I'm just a little bit confused, but it does seem like a lot of people may not be happy, but you already know how it goes with the critics and everybody. Doesn't matter who he fights, it's always going to be something.
I mean, I know you and I are on the same page. I said, if Chavez is telling the world that we're not going to be happy, it's got to be Jake Paul. If Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor are nearing finalization, Jake Paul has everything to do with that. MVP Promotions has everything to do with that. Can Matchroom lure Canelo back in a one-off big money fight that they're willing to pay for because they've done the Jake Paul business. They know what type of numbers he does. I don't know. I mean, talk to us. What do you think?
Yeah, man, the truth is always going to be stranger than fiction. You know, when I first spoke of Joe Smith being a potential opponent, that sounded a little bit weird. People said, "Oh man, nah, man." Listen, you got to see the forest for the trees, as they say. Now, of course, traditional fans would not be pleased with that kind of fight, but I think in a way, fans would be pleased that Canelo may have gotten that fight out of the way. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the Gringo versus the Mexican Bandolero. You know, if you want to bill it that way, you know, in a lot of ways similar to what we just saw with Plant and Canelo. So there's always a little bit of marketing there. And especially when you're talking about a Paul, you have to be able to throw their name in the mix. We just saw the article. I put that in the pre-pro. Duke said he made $41 million off boxing. He don't got a bag to bring to the show. Plus, he's putting Amanda Serrano on. This would be a great opportunity. Who's got something wrong to say about a potential fight?
You know
with Jake Paul?
Rob doesn't like. He's already in the chat. Stop it. But I feel like it makes sense. I don't know, Jose. Let's get a mic check on you. How you sounding, and what do you think about Salvador Rodriguez reporting that we're not going to be happy about Canelo's next opponent? And who do you think it is?
How's my mic sound right now? So
far, so good.
Good to go. All right, yeah, man. How's everybody doing?
Good.
So, man, I don't know. It's probably gonna be the original plan they probably had going in to this year, right? 2022, probably with the Macaboo, man. I know a lot of people were kind of hyped for that fight, but honestly, I kind of wasn't, right? Like that Claudia Trejo lady kind of explained it best. You know what I mean? Homeboy's just trying to pick the lowest hanging fruit, man. In my opinion, I just don't see that fight going past like 3 rounds. And I kind of felt a little bit of the backlash of him picking the Macaboo fight. So a lot of people weren't happy with it to begin with, right? So I probably think they're just going to go ahead and go with that instead of like the Charlo, where everybody, I kind of felt like the buzz when everybody was, when Charlo was the name. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I just felt the buzz like even in the TBV community, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely want Charlo amongst this community, but Ray, what's your thoughts on this new Canelo news?
All right, so I mean, if we're talking about Jake Paul, I think is absolutely silly at the moment, right? I don't think the concept is completely silly, but Jake Paul has some work to do, right? You know what I mean? Everybody's saying he needs to fight the real boxer, So let's get back to that Tommy fight. I think that he beats Tommy based off of Tommy's last couple performances. And then even if he can get that fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., that's even a more doable fight. But to step right in with Canelo, that's the worst thing he could possibly ever do. Maybe even ruin his own career. Now, if it's not Jake Paul, which I'm hoping that it's not, I agree with Jose. I think it might be the Macaboo fight, right? I know a lot of people aren't really happy about that, but it's just because they don't know who Macaboo is. But if you take Macaboo, do all the WBC champions side by side, put Macaboo and square him up with Charlo, and it'll be a night and day size difference.
I just don't know that if he announces Macaboo or Macaboo, whichever one it is, that we're gonna be upset. He said boxing fans will be upset. I don't know that boxing fans will be upset that Canelo's moving a cruiserweight. There still is a super element of danger. I'm still thinking circus fight. So you guys don't like Jake Paul. I'm still in Amin's other choice of the 2 MMA fighters.
Which ones?
I don't know the black guy's name like that. I'm sure Usman and obviously McGregor.
Oh, no, that's right.
Okay, yeah. McGregor. Who knows? You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but I myself, boxing is my first love, but I'm also a hardcore fan of MMA. So that might be where I could come in a little bit. The Usman fight, they're not going to feed Usman to Canelo. Absolutely not.
What weight is he? Is that
he's
outrageous?
170.
Okay, 170.
170. So right in the ballpark. But the thing is,
Perfect weight.
yeah, where he's been developing his striking a lot better. It works well with his grappling background because of the threat of the takedown, and then when he mixes in the striking, you get a knockout like what he produced in Jacksonville with Jorge Masvidal. But for him to even get close to a competition against Canelo is outrageous. And right now, we're starting in the MMA community to hear a little bit of talks of, oh, he might be the greatest welterweight of all time, overshadowing George St. Pierre. So if he goes in and gets knocked out by Canelo, then that ruins all of that. Right now in the MMA standings for pound, Kamaru Usman's number 1. So to take your number 1 pound for pound and just completely set him up, Dana's not stupid. You know, Dana, like I said, Dana was watching the Plant fight.
So you're saying it doesn't make business sense?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other way, and I don't think that he would not do it, but I think MMA fans would agree most. Y'all guys don't throw away fighters just because they lose once. You know what I'm saying? So that's one aspect to where I don't see it as they cash in. Like, it's not like in boxing to where if you look at a guy, you could say, yeah, he might have been undefeated and he got a belt, but he ain't fought nobody, so it's a cash out. You talking about Usman fighting Canelo? I think it's the same level of spectacle in terms of crossover. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, so I think, you know, if he lost, which, you know, probability says he probably would, the more seasoned boxer versus, you know, a MMA fighter, it would more look like, damn, our best against one of their best. And, you know, MMA didn't win, but boxing got that one. But I don't think anybody would throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? I think on the other side of it is if you have a guy like, you know, Chavez Jr., you know, and Jake Paul, you know, again, it's the same level of spectacle because, you know, people don't rate Chavez as high. But I think when you talk about what the Pauls do, remember, surviving for them is a win in their twisted world. So the precedent is Logan fought Floyd and he survived. You know what I'm saying? You get to rewrite history and say, I fought Floyd. I really beat him, and just get to make shit up 3, 4, 5 years from now before anybody remembers. If Jake survives Canelo, it'll be rewritten like fucking Sam and the White Walkers or some Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, definitely. So
That's
yeah, there's a couple statements in there, right? So I agree with you. Yeah, in MMA, we don't just completely throw somebody to the side because they lose a fight, and it's due to the fact that the matchmaking is so well. It's everyone on the high level, and sometimes even losing a fight, you win. For example, Nate Diaz, right? But it's not that he's gonna lose, because the other time we seen this was McGregor versus Mayweather, right? And at least McGregor got a little bit of stock for being able to hang in there a bit, right? And everyone was like, okay, you know, he did what he could do. Kamaru Usman will get absolutely annihilated and destroyed, and it will be embarrassing. So that's where it's not going to help. It might actually lower his stock. It won't be one of those things where we go, oh, well, you know, the seasoned boxer, you know, that is a very good point that you made, but he will get embarrassed so badly that it will definitely ruin his stock.
I just don't, you know, it's hard to understand or completely assess who can make fight fans unhappy, because we're so weird, you know. Like I wouldn't be mad with the Makabu fight. I think it's still a very big element of danger there. I'm sure if I interviewed the trainers of all these other guys that people want Canelo to fight, like the trainer of Andrade or Ronnie Shields, the trainer of Jamal, even Derek James, the trainer of Jamel, none of those guys would say that they would put their guy in with Makabu.
Absolutely not.
The same way they all said that they wouldn't put their guy in there with the same Kovalev that fought Canelo on that same night. So, you know, what's easy for Canelo normally isn't easy for regular dudes. And
I think that's a part of...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, and I think that's a part of the game. It's like, the brother talked about the matchmaking being fair in MMA. I think we kind of have been as fair with the matchmaking with Canelo as we could be, which is the reason why he's all over the place. And so, there's the part of where we watching to see, what kind of legacy does he set if he jump up to cruiserweight? That's why they make weight classes. It's definitely a puncher's threat, right? But then sometimes you look at it and just say, but damn, it's Canelo. He got his own set of strength and his skill. So you kind of got to play that game with every fighter that you feel like, nobody's going to go in there to lose. But how many people honestly going to think they're going to go in there and beat Canelo? You know what I'm saying?
Canelo's just held to such a higher standard
Yes.
in the boxing world, where it doesn't apply for everyone else's favorite fighter.
No,
because he's a face of boxing. That's why. I mean, let's be honest, right? Let's keep it all the way funky here, right?
Mhm.
If Charlo were to fight Makabu right now, right? Let's be honest. Who would you really put money on right now?
I would put the house on Makabu.
I think Makabu
Oh,
would.
Makabu?
Tripping.
I think Makabu would be the favorite.
They're crazy.
I think
I got
he would.
Charlo.
I think
I got
Charlo
Charlo.
looks good for a few rounds, and then he gets knocked out.
I think Charlo, to be honest, in the last couple fights, I've seen him get in the hands from former 154 pounders.
Yeah.
So you don't think he spars people?
You mean former welterweights? Because Jaime knocked out Montiel at 147. Let me get to these super chats and we'll pick up the conversation. Looks like the first one of the day coming from Big Boy Patek. He sends a super sticker just with a red thumbs up. So hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. It helps with the visibility of the show. It's going to put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans. Let them know we talk boxing every day. We got Fred Robinson with another one who says, anyone other than Charlo is a duck. Do you guys feel that way? Before we get to the next super chat, if he doesn't fight Charlo next, is it ducking? I do not believe you can call Canelo a duck. He just undisputed a division. He's unified every division he's been at. Well, except obviously 175. But we all know that he can do that too.
For real. But you know what? This is the only issue I have, right? Like, why can't he just fight these guys, right? Because we're the public is clamoring for it, right? Like, we want to see it. Why can't he just clean up at the lower weight classes first and then move up and fight the guy, right? Like, that Makabu fight's still gonna be there, you know what I mean? Like, why can't he just take care of business down in those weights while he could kind of make the weight and those people could kind of meet him halfway?
Who is take care of the business? Who do you want to see him fight? You seem like you have a name on the tip of your tongue there.
I mean, Charlo, obviously, right? That's one of the fights everybody wanted to see.
So you agree with the super chat then? Anyone other than Charlo next is a duck in your eyes?
Not necessarily. He could do that. He could do Demetrius Andre. Just those guys that are still at 160. Wait a minute.
You're a hardcore. I love this. You're a hardcore. So you want Andre next?
Either one of those, because the thing is, if he goes up and he fights Makabu, right, all of a sudden now he's gonna be like, man, I'm too heavy. I don't know if I could come down to these 168s or meet people at even maybe 175. You know what I mean? Who knows where he's gonna start campaigning at once he goes to 190, right? Because he's not gonna go the full 200 because he's gonna be fighting for the WBC belt, right? Because they moved it down.
Yep.
Exactly. So who's to say where he's gonna end up? Where the cards are going to lie after it's all said and done, Who knows where he's going to start campaigning at? I just think, because win, lose, or draw, this is the thing. Win, lose, or draw, if he fights Charlo, right, let's say he does it on PBC, right, because he already did business with PBC when he went against my buddy, what's his name? When he went against Plant, right? Win, lose, or draw, I'm buying that pay-per-view. If he fights Andre next, if they do it on DAZN, I'm watching it. If he fights Makabu next on DAZN, I'm not even gonna lie. It ain't a fight party.
No, if it's on DAZN, I'm watching it. If it's on DAZN, I have no issue.
If my wife makes dinner plans that night, bro, I'm going to dinner. Wow. I'm not going out of my way to watch that fight. I'm not.
Wow. I don't know. Man. Canelo is still an event. He's still fighting the cruiserweight. Makabu is still a puncher. He's a
Once they square
puncher.
those two off and you see the size difference and they start doing press conferences and stuff and they start getting the promotion behind it, that's when we're going to go. There's going to be a change of tune.
I'm going to dinner. I'm not watching that fight.
Enjoy it. Enjoy the dinner.
I'm going to dinner. I'll catch the highlights. But you know what? Callum Smith was huge, right? Huge guy. Look what happened, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know,
So-
Rocky
The harder
Fielding,
they
right?
He was a tall guy.
So let me throw
Big
a
guy, you know?
let me throw a producer's monkey wrench in it, right? Chava, which is Salvador Rodriguez from ESPN Deportes, he did say that the priority is 175. Now, we don't know if that means immediate or after this quote unquote fight we won't like. But
Bivol then.
But with that in mind, when he moved up to 68, he fought Rocky Fielding. He had to get acclimated. He had to make sure. What if it's Zach Parker next? He's obviously with Matchroom. It's undefeated, I believe, light heavyweight. Isn't it the guy with the tattoos? I think he's got tattoos, right? No, nobody knows?
He tatted up, man.
Yeah.
But he gonna get tatted up. He gonna get some more tats.
But he fits the part though. He fits the part though, right? He's got the tattoos. Let me double check here.
But to put a hole in that logic is that he doesn't have to get acclimated. He's already been to 175 and he KO'd the Crusher.
Yeah, but he went back down, champ. He went back down.
Yeah, but he can go right back up. If he's talking about going to 190, 175 is just
Listen,
a pit
but
stop.
that's the point. We all thought he didn't need Rocky Fielding. It was something that made us mad. So, but they're saying he's not with Matchroom. He's with Frank Warren, and he's got the WBO something. I'm gonna just screen share
I don't
this
see him
picture.
doing business with Queensbury.
I mean, what if it's a Queensberry Top Rank thing? Remember, Top Rank has 3 of the pieces. What if
if he's gonna do business with Top Rank, then I think you need to, there's some other fights in there.
And that's when you say that, it sounds like they could do you remember you were saying earlier, they, if they try to attach like the Smith fight and then tie the Better Be fight in there, right? Maybe they do the Parker fight first, do a 2-fight deal, do the Parker fight first to acclimate it to the division fight, and then do the Smith fight. Because for me, I think he stays away from Better Be and he just goes for Smith because it's the marketable fight. You'd be surprised.
Well, according to yesterday's telecast, they made it seem like Smith and Better Be were fighting by May, right? Did anybody catch that? I caught that.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, they're trying to lock that fight in for a 3-belt unification by the summer, they said. Nobody caught that, man.
I thought they were talking more about a Bivol rematch with Joe Smith Jr.
Nah. Well, I don't know.
They were asking him about it, I think, right?
Definitely during the Abraham Supernova fight, the Bradleys or Bernardo Suna, they was talking about. Mark Kriegel brought it up. They were talking about a 3-belt unification with Joe Smith if he could get through the win.
But that
since we're talking Canelo, he did mention Canelo after his win. Let me see if I could pull up the exact quote. And obviously it was when he was asked the question. And Joe Smith Jr. says, hey, if Canelo wants to come to 175 and fight me, I'm ready for him. And obviously this is on if he would be open to fight Canelo. And it's more about if Canelo would be open to fight him and would he take on that challenge. Based off last night's performance, guys, how's Canelo do with Joe Smith Jr.?
Easy work.
Yeah, man. I don't think Smith. Yeah, I don't think Smith puts up much of a fight, and I don't think the threat of that whole dangerous puncher. They would play that up, and they would keep showing that reel of Hopkins getting knocked out the ring so many moons ago. But nah, man, it wouldn't be enough, man. It wouldn't be enough to convince me. But like I said, it's interesting if they do the Smith and Better Be fight. Suppose, like you said, and that's that Zach Parker sneaks in there and then Canelo waits out the winner of that. Does that sound plausible? Or?
If I'm Canelo and I'm listening to Chava, Salvador Rodriguez, I'm thinking I let Joe Smith and Better Be fight. I let them have 3 belts, and then I give them the Willy Wonka ticket. In the meantime, I could fight Makabu. I could do whatever, everything we just mentioned. I won't even reiterate it because some people really get upset. I'm seeing in the comment section. But, we all know the normal Canelo options.
Well, if we're talking about 175, right, in this path to undisputed, and if that 3-belt unification happens, then wouldn't it make sense for Canelo to go back and do business with Eddie and then go take that WBA strap and then let them have the 3-belt unification so that once Canelo gets that WBA and he hops over onto that top rank side, now we got ourselves that undisputed fight.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense.
Because everyone else is talking about Canelo needs to fight this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
He could
he just did it at 168,
He could also
let everyone else
Bivol.
fight each other, and then Canelo comes in and just, he doesn't need tough fight after tough fight after tough fight after tough fight. If we're doing that 175, let's just get it all done in one.
I mean, he could also fight Bivol while these guys, unless that's what you just said.
That's what I said when you had your headphone off.
Yeah. Bivol would be a good option. Not that I like that fight, man. I mean, that
would be a fight that fight fans would be upset with, or not upset with, but wouldn't like, wouldn't you say? And if 175,
I know I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't like it. I think it's such a boring build-up fight. Like, how do you sell that shit? Like,
you would have to sell it as in Canelo.
What are we talking about?
Canelo.
What are we talking about fight week though? Like, how do you do 7 shows on that bullshit? Like, it's crazy.
It would just be the future.
Stylistically, it's a good fight.
But Bivol ain't even he's not even like the silent kind of killer, like like guys that they don't have good English, but the skills are impressive, so you kind of talk them up. And
he's not a crusher.
It's just he's not a crusher. He just kind of like got that flat affect and shit. Like
he's not better beef. He's not better beef.
Yeah, at least better beef look dangerous. Better beef look like a fucking man bear and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Bivol look like a baby face dude. Like, yeah, it's okay. I don't know.
Let me get to some of these super chats. We stopped at Fred Robinson. We got Ken Stone. Good to have you back. He says, Loma getting George Eubank Jr. UK debut for Canelo. That's not a fight we wouldn't be happy about. I think we would be happy about. I like Eubank versus Canelo, especially if he goes to the UK. I don't see who would receive that as bad. But Loma getting getting George, I would be mad about that. I want George to keep that same energy. Obviously, that was something I put in the news and notes. The tweets between Haney and George. I guess I should read them now and let you guys give me your take not only on the super chat but these tweets. So, Devin Haney says, yo, George Cambroso, we making this fight or what? I'm agreeing to all your terms, whether it's a vaccine or the travel. It's starting to look like someone's ducking. Some ducking going on at Eddie Hearn. And then, obviously, George Kambosos comes back and says, I love how you manipulate and lie to your fans. Talk a big game, but show no action, albeit like your fights. I'm patiently waiting with all my belts for the offer from your boss, in caps, Mr. Eddie Hearn, because I got a stadium ready in Australia, but I see the excuses already. Somebody's mic is going crazy. All right. So there was one other response, and that was from Devin Haney, because he came back and said, so you want our side to put the money up in your backyard? Okay, no problem. See you soon. And keep those belts safe, because they'll be leaving Australia soon. And I don't know what the hell this one is. This ain't prayer. Maybe that's like inshallah, right? Because he's Muslim and shit. All right. And then the next tweet that correlates would be Chris Mannix, who says he spoke to Devin Haney, who told him that he's already received. Whoa, Mike alert. Who's that, Ray? Holy shit. Oh. Fuck, Ray. I didn't mean to remove him from the call. I meant to mute him from the call. Shit.
That wasn't me, right? I've been
No,
muted.
no, that was Ray. That was Ray. That's
Okay.
right. That's right. Ray got the tricky mic there. But anyway, Haney told SI's Chris Mannix that he already got one of the 2 doses for the COVID regimen and intends to get the second, a requirement for fighting in Australia. So Haney's all go. Once again, the super chat that sparked us to talk about this was Ken Stone, who said Loma is getting George Kambosos. So guys, what do you think about, obviously, the back and forth with Haney? And I guess Kambosos' decision, what should it be if you had your way?
Mic check.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I think Haney's got to be the guy, man. I think Kambosos is gonna look real bad if he doesn't pick Haney, even though he has the ball in his court right now. He's got all the belts. He's the A side technically, right? If he picks anybody other than Haney, it'll just look like a bad look on his part because Haney's gonna offer him the most money. He's got the powerhouse behind him. He's got he just fought on DAZN, right? The same company that Haney's on. It's just I feel like it's the easiest fight to make. He already did. It has Kambosos done business with Eddie Hearn yet already? I don't know if he has or not. But
Who?
I mean, he had to sort of, right, to fight on his own. But
Kambosos, yeah, Eddie Hearn won the purse bid, so the last fight he fought was staged there, but he's promoted by Lou DiBella.
For sure. I don't know what's going on with Lou and Eddie, but I don't think it's nothing that can't be resolved, right? He's got the money. He's got the
I don't know if you think about Lou. The last time he gave his fighter, Haney was trying to give Comey a title shot. He gave Loma the Comey fight,
which is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but as far as for Kambosos, no, go ahead.
Lee Selby and Kambosos wasn't promoted by Matchroom.
Well, Lee Selby, I believe at one point was with Matchroom, yes, and with PBC.
Yeah. Okay, so I
don't know if he was with Matchroom at the same time that he was with PBC though. I'm just saying. Okay. I remember him being, with both.
Okay, I was just thinking as far as when he said doing business, but yeah, I don't know.
So,
but I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, bro.
No, that was just basically my argument, which is he's a guy the community, the boxing community would like to see Haney get his shot so they can get true undisputed first. I feel like the money is behind him. He's willing to go to Australia. Man, it'll be such a huge fight if they did it there, man. They could fill up a big old soccer stadium. It'll be crazy. So I just think all signs point towards Haney. If it's not Haney, it's a duck, in my opinion.
I just want to make something clear that if George Kambosos is asking Haney to put up the money, why has the fight have to be in Australia then? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like, if I'm going to Australia, you're supposed to be putting up the money. You got the stadium. Like, how you just bringing the stadium and I got to bring the television money? So I'm a little lost as to what Kambosos believes or knows about being an A-side.
Yeah, and to that point, he's the the new girl at the school. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about her except, you know what I mean? She the new girl and you want to get to know her. So he's the debutante. He's bouncing around trying to see. But I think if he doesn't pick Haney, yeah, it's an obvious duck. First of all, Haney's been sitting around waiting for too long. First of not by his own volition, just by the circumstances, but now he has this opportunity, and Kambosos don't owe it to him. But I think, he owe it to his dignity because, if Haney says, yo, the man you took the belts from was ducking me. Now you going to take the belts and duck me too? Money or not, I don't think Kambosos can take the money and fight somebody else and avoid that statement hanging over his head, let alone, playing with his pride.
Ray, jump in, because whenever you don't talk, that mic is going bananas.
I don't know what's going on with the mic. How's it sound right now? Is it good or no?
Right now, you're good.
All right. So, yeah, man. as far as this whole lightweight situation, a lot of people talk about their top 5, and I feel like a lot of people disrespect Kambosos in general. They talk about, oh, Tank's number 1 or Haney's number 1. In order to be the man, you have to beat the man, and I don't remember when this was ever not the case. So at the moment, Kambosos is the man. Number 2, if Teofimo decides to stay at 135, which it doesn't look like it, he would be number 2. If not, it's Lomachenko. So the only other fight I would say that Kambosos could take that wouldn't be considered a duck would be Lomachenko, because that's the fight that everybody, I mean, who else is asking for that fight? Nobody. But I agree that I think the real fight to make is Haney. Kambosos said on all of his interviews, like, I need that homecoming fight. I need to do it in Australia. As far as the negotiations go behind the scenes, they need to work all of that out. But I don't see him giving on the location.
All right, we got another super chat from Ken Stone who says Canelo will face GGG Murata winner in September. See, I just, my issue is that's September. That's not next. So that has nothing to do with what is supposed to, quote unquote, get us upset. But yeah, I'm gonna get.
By the way, that fight would get me upset. That fight would get me real upset. I definitely don't want to see Triple G and Canelo. That's a throwaway fight.
I think that you're gonna be in the minority, though.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
because there's more people, especially casual fans, that quote unquote unfinished business, plus believe that he gave Canelo a good fight, or believe that he won both fights. Like there's those crazies out there.
And then he went on to fight Steve Rolls, right? And who, like, and then what? So he's going to move up to 68, and Canelo's going to come.
Let's see what Berlanga does. Perfect time to slide in a news and note.
Good. I want to talk about that.
Edgar Berlanga is scheduled, right? Or is he still in negotiation? He's talks. I don't know. But there's some, let's just say there's some rumblings of Edgar Berlanga, Steve Rose next. And the truth is, I don't know that he knocks out Steve Rose.
He definitely might not knock out Steve Rose.
Well, there you go.
Guess what?
And that's what I'm saying. The people that are easy for Canelo and Triple G, they not easy for these regular dudes.
But Berlanga's different. Berlanga's not even in that class, and that's the thing.
He was thrusted there. He was thrusted there. He's the monster. He the one with 16 knockouts.
Listen. We all grown men, and some of us got kids. You know what happened when you thrust too fast? You bust. You know what I'm saying? So I think Edgar Berlanga, they thrusted they thrusted him too fast, bro. And I said he used to remind me of Adonis Stevenson. That was a compliment, because he ain't accomplished half of what Adonis Stevenson did. So he better not get drunk off that power and think he gonna put everybody down. He better chill out, take off some of them damn icy chains, you know what I'm saying? Them damn fucking cool ass sweaters he got on. Stay the fuck off of Dykeman and stay his ass in the gym and get some more technique. Cause Steve Rose will fuck around and outbox him if he ain't paying attention. Fit-ax.
Yeah, they hacked him up too much.
It's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, do they make that fight and how it plays out, because his last one, that shit was a little bit of an eye-opener, man. But I got super chat. Rider of the Storm says, if Canelo fights in MMA or Jack Paul or any other novelty fight, I will stop watching Canelo. He should take an easy fight. Fight Charlo. Charlo's not an easy fight, my friend. And I don't understand why he's not entitled to have a novelty fight after just undisputing. Like, why can't you do whatever the fuck you want? I mean, someone tell me what Terrence Crawford did after he undisputed, or Tyson Fury after he beat Vlad. Both of these guys, like, dropped belts. Like, at least Canelo's not talking about dropping belts. I mean, Josh Taylor fought some dude named what exactly after undisputing? Who's the guy he just fought? What's his name? It's like, come on, man. So I don't get it. You know, some guys get all the criticism. Ken Stone, trying to ring the alarm. That's 3 super chats for today. Ken Stone says Ryder off a Jacobs win could earn a Canelo fight. I don't know that Ryder's gonna beat Jacobs. That's a big if, man. If Jacobs loses to Ryder, he's done. That is his goodbye fight. And it would be really bad for his career as legacy-wise. Like, you know, the height of your career is Peter Quillen and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Am I missing one?
Nah, that's it. Losses to Triple G, a loss to Canelo, a draw with Gabriel Rosado. You know,
or robbery, you mean? I mean, some people thought Gabe won that fight. That was Gabe's momentum fight from his draw with Aries and draw with Jacobs. He knocked out Beck the Bully. I don't think he had a loss in between. Like, it was just, you know, bad decision after bad decision. But I don't know, man. Jacobs needs this win. Ryder's been out for a while, though, right? I don't know either. That's why I
haven't seen him.
That's why I was asking you guys. You know, I Ryder. You know, I think the last time I saw Ryder was the same day that Eddie Reynoso saw Ryder. That fight we all saw where Reynoso was like, "Man, we should fight Ryder." But let's check what Google says.
Yeah, weren't we talking about Ryder versus Canelo for a little while?
He fought in 2021 September, so you know it'll be more than 6 months without a doubt when he fights in February 12th versus Daniel Jacobs. Which I don't know. I guess that gives definitely time to fight Canelo in May for the winner. Not that Jacobs will get a rematch. I don't think he'll earn a rematch off of Ryder win.
Who's paying for that? Who's buying that fight?
DAZN.
DAZN?
This is already a DAZN fight with Ryder versus Jacobs, and if Ryder beats Jacobs, and they can offer Canelo a tune-up before Bivol, they doing it. They did it with Yeardom. They paid for the Yeardom fight.
Man, I think maybe
it's in the UK too, right?
I mean, maybe if he wants to do coming to the UK, he will. I mean, hell yeah.
No,
you're giving them too many ideas, Ness.
In the UK. Ryder Jacobs in the UK, right?
Say again?
Ryder Jacobs is in the UK, right?
Ryder Jacobs, let me check. That is it. Yeah, bro. Damn. Daniel.
Yeah. That's how you know it's a cash out.
Daniel on the road.
It's a cash out.
Nah, he ain't. This ain't a cash out. There's no
I
way
think so,
he
yeah.
loses. There's no way he loses to this guy, bro.
Miracle Man's always down to fight.
Rocky Fielding, didn't Rocky Fielding beat this dude?
Who, Ryder? No, Callum Smith.
Fielding beat him in a split decision. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all.
Did he really?
But y'all called motherfucking Canelo a cherry picker. Nick Blackwell lost to this dude by knockout, and the only other dude that I know that beat Nick Blackwell into retirement, unfortunately, I'm not trying to make a joke out of it, is Chris Eubank Jr.
So you think this is just a tune-up then for Jacobs then?
Fuck yeah. Jacobs should not be going life and death with John Ryder.
So what's that? So what are you thinking is like the end goal then? Where are they trying to go? Because if they're
Ryder,
giving him a tune-up, then what's the next step?
Ryder has momentum, right? He arguably beat Callum Smith. Like some people, you know, again, Eddie Reynoso watched that fight and thought he felt like, oh, we should fight Ryder instead of Smith. He said it on his Instagram.
But what's the end game though if Jacobs wins?
Yeah, where are they really trying to go? Because they ain't gonna get Canelo again, right?
Nah, Jacobs ain't getting Canelo again, but this fight should be at 75, so it don't matter for Jacobs. He was trying to get Joe Smith Jr. Remember, it just didn't happen.
Is this fight at 75 or is that 68?
Nah, this got to be 75.
I think it's 68. They're both 168.
Ryder's last fight was at 75, and so was Canelo. I mean, so was Jacobs. Let me double check Jacobs. Yeah. But Jacobs.
Either way.
Jacobs last fought at 68, but the one before that was at 72.
Either way, I don't think he's beating any of those guys, anyways, even to get a shot, right?
Yeah, I think for Jacobs, this is just a fight.
Yeah.
I mean, again, Jacobs wins. He could get a Bivol fight. He could get a Joe Smith Jr. fight. Those dudes don't have a Jacobs on their resume. And if Ryder wins, now he's got Jacobs on his resume, and he's worthy of a Bivol shot.
So you thinking that'll be the farewell then, right? Like another title shot, and then that's it.
Who, for Jacobs?
Probably for Jacobs, yeah.
Jacobs is living fight by fight. If you lose this Ryder fight, you're done. If you win this Ryder fight, you get everything we just said.
I just feel like if he wins another title, he's probably not going to sit there and want to like unify with Better Be or anything like that. You know what I mean? I mean, how old is the guy? He's old.
I mean, Jacobs will do a Better Be unification fight for a lot of money. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Better Be? Oh, damn.
But
the fight.
Yo, listen.
I don't even think he gets past.
One thing I'll tell you is this. He watched that Better Beef Marcus Brown fight. Marcus Brown is his little bro to him. Like, Jacobs has been in that New York City, Staten Island. Like, he sparred Marcus. He sparred Derevyanchenko. He sparred Casides. He sparred Hakeem Nurse. Everybody, Conwell, everybody in that New York City, New Jersey area, Jacobs has sparred. He watched that fight and seen Marcus went a long way, and he was never gifted like that. You know what I mean? Like, Jacobs at least has a very deep amateur pedigree. I don't know. I think he could dig out another unification. This is a unification. These things don't come like that. Like, he lost that with Jacobs versus Golovkin. Again, he lost the unification with Canelo. This is an opportunity here. I don't know. I think he'll do it.
And not only that, you said Jacobs at 175, man. If he goes the other way and gets that Joe Smith fight, that's New York. That's a New York fight.
He was trying to do, and that would be a New York fight. People saying I'm tripping, but if he's offered a unification fight, like, y'all tripping. The dude been fighting all his life. Like, this is what they do. I don't know. I think he'll take it.
I think the real question is, does anybody take a tough fight? Let's say Jacobs wins and he looks good. Does anybody take a tough Jacobs fight when they're all sitting in the Canelo lottery system, waiting out for that Canelo fight? Do they risk it by fighting Jacobs?
I mean, if I'm Joe Smith Jr., yeah, because I feel like I knock out the 154-pound Jacobs, the dude that I probably sparred with again, because I'm from Long Island and I gotta get sparring. Yeah, I'll probably take it. That's why I thought that fight was gonna happen. But
yeah, I heard it.
New York City's not back 100%. I bet you if they get back 100%, they could do that shit at the Garden. It's going down.
My boy, Mad Bent from the chat, he just gave me a good idea. I would rather see Jacobs versus Edgar Berlanga after Berlanga stops Steve Rolls.
I mean, again, that's a fight that could happen only because they managed by the same person. Keith Conley manages both Berlanga and Jacobs, but he wouldn't.
They're not going to ruin his career like that.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do it because he looking at it like, I'm gonna burn one for the other. When I got two, I could sell Jacobs to Smith in Top Rank, and Berlanga keeps selling them to someone else. Listen, Berlanga's Top Rank deal's a 2-fight deal. Conley is smart. He's smart. Like, we gonna get 2 fights with y'all on ESPN, and then we gonna I could take him to PBC or I could take him to Fox. Conley fucks with PBC. His heavyweight is Adam Kovnacki. And he fucks with the Zone too, because he got Jacobs over there. So Conley's all over the street. He got Berlanga on Top Rank and ESPN. He ain't no little dude, man. He trying to get that money, so
he's doing business with everybody.
Yeah, and think about it. If Berlanga beats Steve Rolls, what makes more sense to Conley? Does selling out his own Jacobs, or does Gennady old ass Golovkin? And guess what for Golovkin? After Murata, if Canelo still is freezing him out, what's the biggest thing for Golovkin in New York City, who's been selling out in New York City for years? Edgar fucking Berlanga. And what's the best thing for Berlanga? Gennady fucking Golovkin. Because what's next? A Canelo fight. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. I beat the guy you beat. Simple.
I'm not too convinced that Berlanga will get that far. After that last fight,
he could come.
I'm not.
He could come into
I'm not
his
confident
zone,
in it.
bruh. He could come into his zone. This fight versus Rose, he could land the first right hand and be back. Everybody call him the monster again. He did what Gennady couldn't. I'm just saying, stories is easy to write when the right thing happens.
For sure,
Berlanga
but
better put some. He better put some mantequilla on that roll, man.
I don't know. I don't know that I'm too confident in Berlanga, but I wouldn't mind eating that crow.
Hey, me too. I'm just saying he could blossom. He could blossom, and I hope that he does. I don't want him to have a short career. The dude's an attraction. The ladies love him. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing the knockouts. Fuck it, man.
I think that last fight he had was the best thing that could have possibly happened to him, yo, because it happened at the perfect time, right? Before he got too egotistical, too in his head, right? And look what happened, right? He faced adversity. He fought a guy that was a pretty good boxer, so he learned a lot in that fight. He got a lot of experience. He went down. He suffered a knockdown. He got back up, right? And I'm not going to lie, you know, I didn't see him like on wobbly legs or on queersy or nothing like that. Like, people are questioning his chin. Like, he went down, but I didn't, was he really rocked like that? Like,
yo, you know what's a great fight?
I don't remember him being that hurt.
You know what's a great fight if Berlanga gets out that 2-fight deal unscathed? Jaime Munguia Berlanga.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yo, and Jaime got machine gun. Yo, he was putting so many fucking punches together on Rosado. I was sad, man. I thought Rosado was going to do better than that.
If Rosado had a little bit more pop like Berlanga does right now, I feel like he could have got him out of there, man. Because he had his little spots, right, where Rosado was kind of shining here and there. It wasn't enough, but if Berlanga got presented those chances that Rosado had, I think it's going to be bad for Munguia, man. Bad.
Let me get to some of these super chats. I'm sorry. I mean, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I don't know if Berlanga can handle the type of combinations Munguia was throwing, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that's why it's a great fight. Because he got big power. So maybe
it's a great 5-round fight.
Maybe he's getting hit with some shit, bam, 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 and then it's like boom, one big shot puts Munguia down, and it's a reset. I don't know. I like it. Plus, it's Puerto Rico versus Mexico, man. That shit is like that's part of the sport. But go ahead, I mean.
That's a juicy fight.
I'm on that Munguia train for that one, man. I'm on that Munguia train.
All right. I got Boston Jared that says Zach Parker is with Warren. That's why the Andre fight couldn't get made, allegedly. And we got Rider of the Storm back with another one. That is number 2 of the day for Rider of the Storm, who says Canelo is the only fight that people say he goes up in weight and the champion is a cherry pick, but he's avoiding an inactive Charlo or Boo Boo. What the fuck? Yeah, nobody really thinks he's avoiding them or ducking them. That's just the people that are dying to see that fight.
My thing is not about
but there is an argument. Like, I have been at every division with you except 68 and 75 at this point. But like, Charlo does have a case. Like, in
2019.
I mean, at 54, at 60, I was your mandatory. You took the franchise to fight old ass Sergey instead of me. So you ducked me twice. Like, I can see how Charlo feels within himself. The thing is that he doesn't talk. Like, Clubber Lane showed us what you're supposed to do when you feel you duck. He didn't do none of the Clubber Lane shit. He just sits there quietly. I'm rich, bro. I'm rich. And it's like, all right, nobody cares then. You know, you don't care. We don't care. And Gennady did it different too. Like, Gennady wasn't struggling with his opposition. He was running through his opposition. He was doing so good, people start saying he was taking punches on purpose to look vulnerable. Like, these dudes not looking like Gennady. That's what made Gennady get the fight, was the public believed Gennady could beat Canelo. It was that, oh, give me my belt. Mexicans for Gennady shirts, Mexican style. He was stealing everything, bro. Like, you know, he got in the ring on Canelo. Bruh, listen, you got to really take, if you ain't getting a fight, you got to be like Laura. Laura did the same thing. He went to the podium. Like, I know Boo Boo did that, but then, you know, he just stopped. It's like you cannot stop. The foot metaphorically has to stay on Canelo's neck. You got, I mean, look at Shannon Briggs. Unfortunately, it's not the best example because he never got the fight, but he's a prime example of how you stalk someone to try and get a fight. I know he never
Brother, but you know what happened? But you know what happened? Canelo learned English, bro. He just turned into a savage like overnight, man. So that shit ain't really work out for Boo Boo. You know, he kind of made him look real corny there. But yo, what I was gonna say when you were going on that rant, right? If we think back in time, right, back before Canelo fought Triple G, like how many people were really giving Canelo that much of a chance versus like right now when Canelo and Charlo aren't fighting and the public is kind of demanding it. Like, I feel like people, if you would have asked me right now.
More people wanted the GGG Canelo fight.
Big time.
Yeah.
More people wanted. Yeah, more people wanted. But what I'm saying is your personal thought, like on the chances you would give Canelo to win versus lose that fight. Like, I felt like there was more of a disparity for Triple G, other than, you know, like the Kell Brook fight where he uppercutted him and kind of exposed him more or less, right? Like, other than that, Triple G had a pretty, you know, high level of respect, right?
I get what you're saying. You're saying like, he did. Yeah, there is a certain, like, even now, you still believe Triple G has more power than Charlo. Like, he's still destroying dudes. You know, he's still knocking them the fuck out. Like, Canelo's not doing that and Charlo's not doing that. It's like this. What would Triple G do to Brandon Adams? That dude Patrick Hyland? Even Korobov, man. I mean, he knocking all them dudes out. Maybe Korobov is a tight fight like the Derevyanchenko fight. And I don't even think that because Korobov ain't nothing like Derevyanchenko. Derevyanchenko punches in combinations. You know what I'm saying? And he's got good head movement, you know, and he's not a southpaw. But, like, I don't know. I just think Triple G knocks out everybody on Charlo's 160-pound resume right now. Easy. Knocks them all out. All out. Montiel out.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Everybody that's on Charlo talking about Charlo deserves this fight. Why? He deserved it in 2019, but he hasn't done nothing at 160. And at 168, there's a path to get that Canelo fight. Fight somebody. Benavidez calling you out, Plant's calling you out, and then when those guys are calling you out, you're talking about, oh, well, we could do it at a catch weight, or you can come to 160, but then when it comes time to fight Canelo, I'm the best super middleweight in the world. But
GGG is like Willis, the referee, where everything he does is epic because of his facial expression. When GGG hits you with that right hook, and he's like, he's always got that mean face when he's always breathing out his nose like a dragon. He's always punching down with conviction. Like, you barely got them shots, them photographs of Jamal, man. I mean Jamal.
I don't think that guy exists anymore, fellas. I think
Me either.
If he gets in there with Charlo, man, that stiff jab straightens him out. We know Triple G was prone to the jab. That's how Jacobs was able to, in quotes, do good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Triple G, that head movement was, him and Ebony Bridges got the same head movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sold on that, and he's older, bro. Chart right now against Charlo, he's food. And I know Charlo would take that fight in a heartbeat.
I don't know, man.
He is, bro. Yeah. Look at how Charlo handles Derevyanchenko, first of all, right?
Yeah, Derevyanchenko, but then his next fight with Montiel, when you put that Mexican style on his ass?
No, I think it's
he was getting hit flushed on the face. Right. Imagine if that was Canelo, a 168-pound Canelo.
His eye got swelled up in that fight. Imagine Gennady ripping through that skin. The way he punches down, bro. Listen, the pressure. He just walks you down behind his jab. Don't get me wrong. I know that.
I don't think he got up for that fight, bro. Like, look at how good he did on the Derevyanchenko fight, man. He won like 10 rounds to 2, bro. He made him look terrible.
Bruh, he fought Derevyanchenko after 2 back-to-back losses, man.
Yeah.
He got a third time.
So he's hungrier.
No, he got a third time beating Derevyanchenko. It's not like and Adames turned around and fought a 4-time beating. Like it's like, yo, let that man retire, please.
Bro, it was a moral victory. Nah. He beat the shit out of Triple G. He almost stopped Triple G in that fight, if I'm not mistaken.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Right?
Lying. No,
I thought he was on a high, even though he lost. I thought the public thought he won.
But he still was in a fucking brutal fight with Triple G. Did you see their faces?
I think it was more brutal for Triple G than for Derevyanchenko.
I think it went both ways.
I might have to pull up the highlights now. I gotta pull them up. I gotta pull up
any fight against Triple G.
I gotta go back
Triple
and watch.
G has a good night. You think he has a good night against Charlo getting past that jab? He can't keep his head off the line, bro.
I think Triple G still has one good night in him. Yeah.
I think Charlo got outboxed by Matty.
I think whether it's versus Canelo or Charlo, I think Triple G gets all the way up, and he gonna hit both of them with some shit. Don't forget that Canelo's rolling with shit like Tyson Fury, man. It's very few. Floyd, Canelo, Tyson Fury. Oh, Ali. Very few motherfuckers out here in this game rolling with shots the way these dudes is rolling with shots, man. Charlo gonna get hit with a flush right.
Bro, I don't like the way you be bigging on Triple G. You want to know why? Because I'm starting to see like the little mechanics kind of play in your mind, right? Because they're kind of gonna try to big up the Triple G Canelo 3 fight, man, right? I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying like the machine, right? Like the zone. They want to like kind of make that fight happen, right? Because people think, dude, I do not want to see that fucking fight. I'm not gonna watch that fight. I don't care.
I don't mind that fight, champ. I don't mind. I want Canelo to knock him out that night.
And he will. And
I will
that's
be
why
disappointed. I will be disappointed if he doesn't knock him out that night.
He fucking kills him that night, I think. That's why I don't want to watch it. I just think, man, he just took such a decline, Triple G, man. It's kind of crazy how much he kind of, in my eyes, he kind of fell from grace a little bit. Like, I just don't see him as that. He's not that dude anymore, you know?
Triple G gets stopped to the body against Canelo. Triple G, quote me right now. Triple G gets stopped to the body against Canelo.
I think so. That's a good statement right there.
I agree, dude. Derevyanchenko was fucking ripping, but bro, you saw him. He was like doubling over in that fight, man. You know, the announcers were calling it like it was crazy, dude. He's not taking it to the body no more, bro. No more. So he's got a solid chin, but to that body, man, he ain't taking it.
Let me get to these 2 other super chats because we got to switch subjects, man. We haven't even talked about some great news. Both 2 big fights are very near being finalized, and that's the Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez unification bout. And then you got Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor for undisputed bout. Both near being finalized. I got Mad Bet 100 that says Edgar Berlanga stops Steve Rhodes. But the question is, does he look better than Gennady doing it so that the hype train could get back behind him? And he's right back with another one and says, Jacobs stops Ryder. Then Jacobs versus Joe or Bivol. Makes sense. Makes sense. Let me see here. So, fellas, let's get right into the Oscar Valdez and the Shakur Stevenson news. Obviously, Stevenson let us know not too long ago on his social media that I got Jay Miller, who's celebrating being a member for 10 months. He says, I got Korobov over Chenko. Yeah, you mean Derevyanchenko. But I believe it's Michael Coppinger, but everybody's reporting it at this point. Boxing scene all over the place. Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, they're in negotiations. Obviously, Shakur took to his social media a few days ago telling us something big was in the pipeline and that once he got the win, we should put him on the pound-for-pound list. So I guess we'll start the debate there. Does a win over either man put either man on the pound-for-pound list, or is it a one-way street? Is it only Shakur that could be placed on a pound-for-pound if he beats the 3-division champion Oscar Valdez? I'm going to double check that.
They're on the list.
Now go ahead, Ray.
No, I was saying, yeah. I mean, if either win, that's a great fight, and if either one wins, I mean, they're on the list for sure. Where you put them on the list, just that's depend. But I don't know about too high on the list.
So he's two divisions. 26 and 30 is the only two divisions he could have won belts in. And that's Oscar. So they're both two division champions. So I'm just to give you the facts, because again, Shakur believes a win over Valdez should put him on the pound for pound list. And you know what? I guess, you can make 1 through 10. I'm going to check what the Ring has for 135 at the moment. Excuse me, 130. But I mean, did you answer? I want to know. I want to hear everybody's answer. I'm sorry if you all answered. I'm just trying to.
No. I was going for it because this is dear to my heart. This is Brick City business right here, and the problem with it is that this does not do anything for pound. I mean, you got to unify. Grab another strap. You know what I'm saying? That has to be the case. I think he won a vacant against Joet Gonzalez. You know what I'm saying? And then he he won this belt. And now does this when he fight Valdez, this is the unification, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
First unification.
First unification. And see, I don't want to take any of what pound for pound is already so subjective. He got to go out and at least grab one more from me.
Let me just give you the list on Ring. We don't have a pound for pound. Tyson Fury is number 10. Ioka, number 9. Lomachenko, number 8. Estrada, number 7. Earl Spence, 6. Josh Taylor, 5. Inoue, 4. Crawford, 3. Usyk, 2. Canelo, 1. So who does Shakur or Valdez winner replace?
Man, you started from number 10, so I kind of... You should have started from number 1 and then gone to 10. So the idea, so the names were fresh in my mind.
Canelo, Usyk, Crawford, Inoue, Josh Taylor, Earl Spence, Juan Francisco Estrada, Vasily Lomachenko, Kazatu Ioka, and Tyson Fury.
Estrada got to get up out of there.
I think Fury should be much higher.
I don't even know who Ioka is, man. We might have to get him out of there.
Fury should be much higher. I agree. He's held every heavyweight belt.
Estrada's actually in a fight, right? Doesn't he have a fight signed with Rungsvial?
I thought he was going to fight Chocolatito 3, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
Chocolatito 3, and Earl got a fight with Ugas. Vasily just fought. I don't know that he gets on that list, bro. I mean, I guess this guy who's been on there 28 weeks, but we don't know him just because we don't know Kazuto Ioka. I'm sure this is like a little way that people about to be like, yo, Ness, man. Yo, Ness.
Yeah, he's a super flyweight. It says he's a 4-weight division champion, but I mean, I might be on my own island here, but when it comes to the little guys, when you start at minimum weight and you're jumping up 3 pounds at a time, the 4-weight champion it doesn't hit the same.
Yeah.
That's
I wish I just.
You're right.
Look, I don't know. All right, but still, it's still a good fight, regardless if he gets on the pound for pound list. I'm picking Shakur. But I know Valdez is on a high right now off of the Miguel Berchelt win. And I guess we got to admit that Top Rank is giving us fights for free.
They're giving us some good fights, but I would slightly disagree that he's on a high, because he was on a high from that knockout, but then with the scandal and the performance from that last fight,
the Fettermine
I think that was a double hit.
But how many people, how many casual fans remember that? You got to understand how we're like not important to these promoters, us as hardcores. They just factor us in automatically as either illegal streams or guaranteed buys.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe that news cycle of Oscar Valdez test positive, that goes around. So I think, just from my point of view, I think he definitely lost some stock points with that, whether or not it was legit or not, if his tea was laced, whatever they said. And then just the performance afterwards, and just the whole drama with the WBC, all of that. But, it was nice knowing him because Shakur is going to handle business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I was gonna say, do you guys think that maybe this fight got made because of the whole stuff going on with Crawford, man, and Top Rank?
His tweet was before the lawsuit.
Was it?
I think so.
So it was this fight was official before?
No,
Crawford?
not official, but his tweet stating that we're gonna be surprised about who he fights, and if he wins, we need to crown him pound for pound.
Ooh,
That
okay.
tweet. That tweet.
So still speculation as far as the Oscar Valdez, or is it?
No. I mean, everybody's reporting Oscar and him are in near finalization.
All right. Well,
But
with the Mike Coppinger and
listen,
Canelo and Charlo, we gonna have to wait on that one, man. We'll see.
But listen, what you're saying has a lot of merit, though. I mean, Tim Bradley came out on yesterday's telecast saying that Bob never did anything bad to him. So the machine is at work. You've seen Rashida Ali come out and say that Bob stood with her father, and that's why she signed her son Nico to Top Rank. The machine is out. The smear campaign that started is being painted over, showing you that Bob. I mean, it's just you need something hardcore when you accuse someone of something like that, especially when he's been around 80 years. Like there's either got to be something or there's nothing.
I'm not gonna. My bad. I mean, I was just gonna say this because I don't know if it got misconstrued or not. I'm not defending or applauding, I'm not on Top Rank side either one way or another. I just want to see the best fights. But I will just say shout out to them on this particular fight if it does happen.
Yeah,
that's all I wanted to say because it should be the right thing, right? It should be naturally what everybody wants to see next, right? Because the other two champs at 130, like who we really got, Roger Gutierrez and Kenichi Ogawa, like who really are those guys?
Gutierrez is actually fighting Colbert, so we gonna snatch that belt. So you got Uchiagua and Stevenson.
that'll be nice.
Yeah,
that'll be nice. I like Colbert. That'll kind of make it more interesting at 130. But as far as this is like the Super Bowl, if you will, of 130, right? Shakur and Oscar Valdez. So just shout out to Top Rank for making this fight. As far as the other stuff with Bud and all that stuff, I can't confirm or deny. But for this one, I'm gonna say just shout out.
I got some super chats. Go ahead,
No, I was gonna say I think it just would have went real left if Top Rank would have pulled something funny and then been like, "Yo, it's gonna be Navarrete and Valdez." You know what I'm saying?
Well,
they was talking about that one.
It sounds like they serving up my man Abraham Supernova for Navarrete. Y'all didn't listen to the telecast, but that's good because we never listen to the telecast. But on the telecast, Nova is like they hyping him up, right? So they're saying, "Oh, no one ever calls out Navarrete. Supernova's calling out Navarrete." So like they trying to paint the road for that.
Two bangers though. That's not a bad fight.
I mean, Nova.
It might be too early.
Yeah, he ain't showing he got that legit power, and I don't know that he could even land his power before Navarrete don't put a bunch of combinations on him from all sorts of different places.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That dude's got long ass arms, man. Did you see where he was throwing them uppercuts, bro, when he fought homeboy up Pitufo? Mm-hmm. That shit was crazy.
But I mean, I don't know. Did I kill your thought?
No. That was it, man. That was it.
So I want to slip in this other little news and note. Clayton jumps up 9 spots without even fighting. Castillo Clayton. So do you think they're making Ennis and Clayton for the number 1 IBF eliminator? Because the 2 spots are vacant. It's 1 and 2 is vacant. Earl is the champion. 3 is Jerron Ennis. Virgil is 4, but he's in a fight with Michael Mickinson in the WBO. Castillo is now 5. Conor Benn 6. Ivan Globa 7. David Avanesian 8. And I don't know who the fuck, Karen Chukahadazyan? What in the fuck? And then Keita Obra. Wow. And all those last, from number 6 to number 10, they all dropped 1 spot. Because they ain't doing shit. But Castillo jumped 9 positions. That's crazy. I wonder if us reporting on it is going to get him backdrop. Because when the fucking last time this man fought to be jumping like that? Anybody know?
I think he fought after the Lipinets fight. I think it was... I don't remember what was the location of it. I think I could be wrong. But listen, he's a sleeper, yo. He's a sleeper. I would have thought that, Conor Benn would have tried to jump on him because I think he's a kind of...
He's already at number 5. I can't believe they updated this shit January 13th. He's already at number 5 on the IBO all over the place.
George and Wheezy. Kids moving on up, man.
Now, let me just check who he last fought.
Somebody just said Clayton was on the Donaire card.
But he did just fight. He fought in December. Why people acting like he ain't fought? He just fought in December versus Cameron. But was that shit even on television?
Yeah, somebody just said Clayton was on a Donaire card, but I don't know if I remember seeing him on there.
Jesus, I don't remember him being on TV.
Me either.
Wow.
I don't know.
But I ain't gonna front. Clayton versus Ennis. I like that fight. According to Clayton, we interviewed him. He said he accepted that fight twice. So the thing is, he's like 34 years old now, man. And Ennis is what, 24? How old is Ennis? Anybody know?
I could look it up real quick.
24.
I could check. Let me see. Ennis is... Rated Business back? I got Ennis clocked at 24. Damn, 10 years younger. 10 years younger. He gonna put hands on Clayton, man.
Whew. Boots is the hot shit on the street right now, man. He's hot right now. He's hot.
Clayton might be garage kept though, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't been out there getting banged up. You know what I'm saying? So you keep your car in the garage, man. It runs smoother. Don't count him out.
Very good point. Very good point. Shout out to Matthew for implementing the light. Okay, Matt, I see you working. But I mean, very fucking good point. You keep your classic car in the garage, and maybe because he hasn't been fighting as frequently as other people, he doesn't have that many miles on it. Look at Jams. Nice narrative.
What's up? What's the topic? I'm sorry, I had to go turn on the stove.
The fact that Castillo Clayton jumped up 9 positions after his fight in December, so it's a possibility of we're contemplating the possibility of maybe him being put in a eliminator bout with Jerron Boots Ennis, since the number 4 Virgil is busy with the WBO Michael Mickens. Number 5, Castillo is available to fight the number 3, Jerron Ennis, because the number 1 and 2 is vacant. And then you got the champ, Earl.
Cool with that. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that calls in Boots is the future, this and that. I like to let it play out. Let's see what happens. But right now, it looks like he's got the goods, right?
So everybody picking Boots over Ennis except for, excuse me, Boots over
Brother,
Clayton?
Put it this way, since you like to talk about cars and stuff, right? Just think of a 2010 Corvette, right? Think of a 2010 Corvette that's just been sitting in a garage with the cover over. It ain't been getting no miles on it, ain't been getting banged up. But put it, next to a 2022. I mean, what's really good,
It definitely ain't gonna do what the 2022 doing at the quarter mile, and that's what I'm trying to tell our
Exactly.
You right about that.
Yeah, but
it's different.
Yeah, don't put that on me though. Shout out to Castillo Clayton. Don't put that on me. Shout out to the whole Scotia gang. Shout out to the whole Cape Brighton. Shout out to everybody. But I got my boots on, champ. I got my boots on.
Oh, shit. All right. So everybody's still picking Boots. I wonder what the betting odds would be. But let's talk about Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
I love it.
Allegedly nearing finalization. I think this time is different. She's got MVP Promotions behind her. That's Jake Paul. They know how to make fights. This year, Jake Paul, last year, 2021, he clocked in $40 million as an athlete, and he's under 25 years old. That being said, though, I mean, in the rest of the panel, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor had a May 2020 date. Whatever happened to that? There was flyers and everything. Like, if you go hashtag it, that shit exists. This fight was already there and fell apart, and I didn't even remember. I'm sure
was it,
we
COVID?
talked about it. I mean, I'm sure 2020, 2019, all that shit was crazy.
Yeah, Canelo versus Billy Joe had a May 2nd date for 2020, and that fell apart too, right around the same time. You know, that was, what was it, St. Patrick's Day that really everything shut down.
Yo, wait a minute. We went too fast. Did we even say? Like, I said I'm picking Shakur. Did everybody just try to, like, play the hype?
Nah, I'm picking Shakur.
You know what? I was going to mention that, man, but you kept on going to Boots Ennis. But I was like, who you guys got on that, man?
I got Shakur. Who you got?
Valdez versus...
But I'm biased. I'm biased. Remember, he's from Newark, New Jersey. I'm born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, so I'm biased all the way.
Hey, brother, I'm not from New Jersey, but I did hear down the grapevine that my boy Shakur was half Puerto Rican, so I got to go with my boy.
Yeah, they did say that. That is the word. He did, and he told me it's true. We asked him.
For sure. Hey, next time I come on, man, you better introduce me with that big pun intro, man. Next time, you gotta hook it up.
What about you? I mean, who you going for?
Come on, man. It ain't even a question, man.
Oh, wow.
Like, come on, yo. Like,
he's got to, yo.
Come on.
Bro, how would you look out here if you really said Valdez right now, yo?
Oh,
what about Matt?
God.
Matt, you're over there, Team Canelo over there. That Team Canelo camp gear.
You on mute. We don't hear you.
I've been a big Valdez fan since before he was even a champion.
Uh-oh.
However, stylistically, it's just all bad, man. I think Shakur Stevenson pieces him up. Like, I really don't see how Valdez could really deal with that. I really don't.
I was about to call you Matty Reynoso.
Yeah,
which is sad, yo. Which is sad because I do like Valdez though, man.
I like him.
He's got some good looks, right? Like, he looks good in the ring, man. He's got like a little bit of soul, you could tell, right? When he kind of goes in there and does his thing. Like, I feel like he has more, like, a better skill set than what people like to, unfortunately label like as like a Mexican fighter, right? Like, what is a Mexican fighter's strength? They got heart, they got cojones, right? And they just never stop and they just throw punches and bunches. But Oscar, I feel like he's another dimension above that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's got little glimpses of Canelo kind of in there,
He's got more of a dynamic IQ.
Yeah, he proved it with Burchell for sure. He looked great with Burchell.
That knockout was crazy too.
That was nasty.
Yeah, the way that knockout was set up too, that's something that you can't really pull off unless you have that higher IQ, able to make those reads. Because before that, bro, he was hitting him with everything in the kitchen sink. And then I don't know, maybe that last performance that he had was just a lot of stress induced because of the whole, your whole name is getting dragged and all of that due to the controversy. Maybe that affected him or whatnot.
That definitely could affect your mental.
Yeah,
it could. But hey, remember, because he fought Burchell in the quiet studio, man. And when he socked him with that last one, man, it was just like it just sounded like somebody hitting like a baseball, like a T-ball with a softball, just boop! And then he was just down, man. He was
and then all you hear is Oscar just screaming.
It was just so screaming, man. He started screaming before he even hit the ground, bro. He already knew. It's like a walk-off homer, man. So the dude is nice, man, but Shakur is just that dude, bro.
He's got to be 100% against Shakur.
Yep.
Shakur's that dude. He's got that. The best thing I like about Shakur, man, is like his ability to dictate and judge distance, man. Like, he does that shit better than anybody in the game, I think, right now, man. Like, the way that he just like knows how to place his feet and how to just do like a quick little like a back. What do you got? What do you call that, man? Like pulling back, like a pull back.
The half step back.
Yeah, man. He just does it, and it'll be right there, inches from him, and you can't hit the guy. He's right in front of you. He ain't running. Everybody who likes to hate on the whole Floyd Mayweather, get on the bike style, right? You look at somebody like Shakur, bro, and he just stands there, man. Like, who knows if he's got those on the bike skills, like people say, like fighting on the back foot. I haven't really seen him have to do that. Will Valdez make him do that? I don't know, but I don't see it.
Yeah, that's a good conversation. You know, I agree. We'll have to see, because that's definitely a possibility, right? If Oscar brings all the tools to the show.
I don't know, man. I hope that it happens, because it says that there's no financial agreement yet, but both sides are closing in on a pact for the ESPN main event. Sources tell Mike Coppinger. And I just hope that they can do it, because when you don't got the money secure yet, then that shit ain't all the way right. But again, he put out his tweet, and then this came out. So, where there's smoke, there's fire. I just hit the thumbs up, turning it to 119. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It's going to help us grow, and it's going to put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans that need to find a spot where we talk boxing 7 days a week. You know the number to call in if you want to call in and voice your opinion, 1-425-569-5241. You could also add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. If you're calling in on Blog Talk, don't forget to press the 1 button, letting me know that you're ready to rock and roll. I think we actually got to all the topics. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to interject, maybe something I didn't get to you guys want to bring up. But we covered Canelo's next opponent. Reportedly could now be someone that we're not going to like, according to Chava from ESPN. Then we obviously reported on Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson nearing their deal for unification for April 30th at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Shout out to Top Rank if they can make that fight. That's a big fight. Joe Smith Jr. obviously letting Canelo know he's ready to give him a title shot at 175. And obviously Taylor and Serrano. I guess we really didn't touch on that other than the fact that it was a failed 2020 fight. So let's double back on Taylor-Serrano. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Serrano gets hit a lot. Kelly Taylor throws a lot of punches. They're always in combination. And I feel like one day those sneakers are going to catch up to Serrano. Those Jordans have to be heavy. Like, they have to be heavy. They can't move as well as boxing shoes. There's no, especially when they're brand new, they're not broken in. Like, eventually that's going to catch up to her. And I don't know if it's with Katie, but I'm assuming it will be with the combination punches of Katie, and she'll rise to the occasion. I know she's not a defensive wizard. Before any of you jump down my throat talking about Serrano taking shots, but I just feel like Serrano takes shots, man.
Listen, man, women's boxing, I'm definitely, I dare I say an expert. I follow it so closely. Katie Taylor just came out of a very tough fight with the Sharapova girl. Not the hot Sharapova, some other Sharapova, right? But it was a very, very rough fight. You know what I'm saying? She got, speaking of getting touched up, the converse of that is when they fought the common opponent in Miriam Gutierrez, Serrano battered Gutierrez. Jailhouse.
That's the one she turned into an avatar?
Yes, sir, indeed. When you talk about how you measure it, usually by common opponents, what person did to the next person, and a very tough opponent in Gutierrez, no disrespect to her, I got Serrano. And by the way, let's talk about she's a Brooklyn girl, unorthodox. Mike Tyson used to not wear socks, all right? If Serrano wants to wear Jordans and she kicking ass, let her come out.
But isn't she the smaller girl? Katie been up to 135. She fought girls like McCaskill, who's a dog. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, yo, Katie gets hit too, though, man. Katie gets hit too.
Yeah.
Every time you see her at the post fight press conference, right? She's like lumped up. Her face is red as hell.
But she's white.
She's got. I mean, you know, but to be lumped up, you could be any color, Ness. It don't matter, you know.
I don't know, man. I mean, it shows more on fair-skinned people. It's gonna show more.
I mean, yeah, it'll show more. It'll show more. But she's still
Danny
lumped up.
Garcia would win every fight and still look like he was in a dog fight. We all know.
Nah,
that.
I hear you.
Ness got Katie Taylor then. Cool.
I'm saying I don't know. We'll see what the betting line says.
All right, let's see. I agree with you, Ness, that Amanda did get touched up, but at the same time, she was just walking her down. You know what I mean? I was there in Tampa, watched that one live. That was a good one, and she was beating her up, and that's one of those things. She was getting caught with that hook over the top, and it was landing flush. But is it one of those things where she was getting hit with it because she just didn't respect what was coming back to her? You know, and then that's where you're open to getting hit like that. You know, so if we judge it off of that, sure, you know, yeah, she gets hit a lot and whatnot. But, I mean, Katie Taylor, I like Katie Taylor. You know, she's representing Ireland, the Emerald Isle for us over here. But, I mean, I just think she's kind of got that amateurish style where she comes in, she gets the points, the ha, she does a little ba, bounce out, ba, bounce out, and then she does get into a little bit of ugly fights sometimes. She does get hit up. And I don't know, man. If this fight could go either way, but I think the more interesting conversation that we could possibly have is this is such a huge fight for women's boxing. Why don't we make this fight right here the pillar to make women's boxing equal to men's boxing in the sense that we get let's make this fight Amanda versus Katie 12 round 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because
I don't know. That's gonna piss
we
off
started the show, you know, with a little bit of comparison, talking about the MMA stuff. Those girls, they fight the same amount of time as the men. It is completely equal. So why wouldn't the commission? They're the same commissions. Why wouldn't the commission approve for a 36-minute fight and let these girls do the same thing? And that's where it gets really interesting, because then if you do this 2-minute rounds for 10 rounds, you know, Katie can go in there, do her thing, whatnot. Let's drag this fight out and let's see where this goes. And since it's such a huge fight for women's sports, this is the fight to catapult that and start that trend. If not, I don't really know what other fight could do that.
I agree, man, because it's like, who would sit there really and like watch these two women punch each other in the face for 3 minutes around, dude? Like I would. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I would watch that fight. You know what I mean? That's an entertaining ass fight. I don't know why they moved it down to 2 minutes. I never got the official word on that. I don't know if it's because they're trying to speed the fight along or like what's the reason behind it? You know, maybe
trying to get them out of there.
Yeah, exactly, right. It almost seems like, yo, let's just get these women out of here kind of quick. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of men in there to like fit and like fill in a little bit of space and time on the broadcast. But dude, I don't see it that way. It's like those 2 minutes are over so fast. Like it kind of leaves me at the end of the round like wanting more. I was like, man, like she was really gonna hurt this girl. She was gonna really hurt. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking,
too many breaks, and it doesn't allow it's just so many breaks in the momentum.
Exactly, it kills.
I feel like women's boxing would be able to be on a level that, you know, they talk about, oh, well, we're not on the level of the men and whatnot. They talk about, you know, the pay, this and that. But it's because the fights would be so much more exciting if you let that momentum continue. And girls would be getting knocked out. Girls would be getting stopped. All that kind of stuff.
I agree. The only
speaking of
you
knockouts,
brought up a good point.
I just want to, speaking of knockouts and women's boxing, shout out to Shadeja Green. Won the WBC silver title at 168 pounds. So
I saw that.
She cannot be denied any longer. You know,
Jersey.
Franchon gonna have to fight her now. I mean,
that's gonna be a good scrap.
I guess it's still gonna take another year or so. Just winning the title.
Franchon is with Golden Boy, so her and Rashidi Ellis. They
she with Peter Kwan. She with Peter Khan. Remember that fight happening on Matchroom with Franchon.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she's with Golden Boy no more. He got up out of there.
So
you know what?
King, the king of women's boxing. What do you think about this topic that we're talking about?
Well, yeah. Let me ride in there because you're talking about momentum, man. The momentum is shifting. Jamie Mitchell went and grabbed the strap, right? My shout out to Mary McGee. She gave a valiant effort against Chantel Cameron. She didn't do it, and Bumgarner went and got a strap.
Yeah, they doing it in 2 minutes. If you got that pop, you could do it.
True.
So I don't think this is going to be anything different. Serrano is very fast, and y'all was talking about that left hook again against Miriam Gutierrez. We know a lot of good fighters coming out of Spain. We just saw what my man Sandor Martin just did. We saw the Sergio Garcia at 154 against Seb Fundora. So Spain's got the good fighters. We go all the way back to he's now the one man, Sergio Martin Kiko, right? So don't act like Gutierrez landing a left hook against Serrano with Serrano being vulnerable. That's why this fight was made. And like I said, it's common opponent preparation. The weight will not be a difference. Serrano will go in there and she will usurp Katie Taylor and take them straps and bring them back to Bushwick, Brooklyn, and wear her Jordans and be celebrated for doing so.
So you don't think there's any way that they rob her? Because you know, UK is infamous for bad decisions.
Not with the beating
so is America.
Put on Katie Taylor.
Is America.
Not gonna happen.
Not with the J's on. Not with the J's on.
Yeah, I'm with that. Let Serrano bring those back to the island.
Hey, wait, hold up, man.
She's
I just thought about this. She's an island girl. She's an island girl for sure. Hey, yo, people can dunk in Jordans. So they're not that, like, they're heavy, but they ain't that heavy.
Nobody ain't playing with brand new Jordans. That's what I'm saying. She got brand new Jordans every fight. Like, them shits ain't broken.
But I'm saying she ain't the type of fighter that's going to sit there on her toes and be dancing around the ring. Bro, she's going forward, and that's it. If anything, it kind of fits her style of fighting a little bit more, right? It gives her, like, a more solid base just to kind of, like, kind of let those go, you know?
I guess I'm the only one that sees it as a little bit strange, but I guess not.
It is a little strange. No, I agree with you, but maybe that might benefit Katie. If that benefits Katie, she'll be able to, just use movement, get on the bike, come in, pop, let that 2 minutes, run out, take the round, and just rack up 5, rack up 6, and then that's it.
Hey, you know what I just thought of as Amin was talking a little bit earlier? Maybe they only limit it to 2-minute rounds for the ladies because I feel like with chicks, it's like less of a feel-out process, and they just kind of go in and just beat the shit out of each other half the time, right? Like, let's be honest, they're feeling right? Sometimes with the dudes, they just be sitting there all jittery and not really throwing nothing, and, the crowd starts booing. You don't really get that in the female fights, man. They just kind of just meet head to head most of the time, right? Not all the time, but at least from my experience, maybe you guys can tell me something different. But maybe, because the 2 minutes, they just kind of go balls to the wall, and then they just need a break after that. They just slow down. Whether the dudes, they start slow and then they go faster.
We just saw it on that Canadian card with Marie Dakari. She fought, Clarissa Shields or whatever time. Like, they just get windmilly at some point. If the female fighters, if the women fighters aren't very proficient,
though.
It could be, but last time I checked, they all trained for 3 rounds anyways.
McGee lost all her technique once she got slightly tired. But let me get to some of these super chats. I got Rudy Tupapa, or actually Tupapi. He says Charlo is Benavidez' bit, and Canelo would brutally stop Charlo. I bet 2 G's on it. 100 emoji. El Sucio says, shout out TBV. Shout out to you, my dude. Good to see you still around. Mad Bet 100 with the number 3 today. He says, GGG get beat down versus Murata. GGG equals Kelbrook. Damn, he's saying he's done.
Damn.
And LV Slugger says, Benson tweet came out this morning. Might be Joe. Yeah, I mean, it might be anybody. It could be Makabu, it could be Joe, it could be Better Beef, it could be anybody. He gives anybody the Willy Wonka ticket. And Mad Ben back with another one says, Serrano pieces up Taylor. She's more skilled. Any final thoughts, gentlemen? I want to open up these phone lines for anybody that is out there and may want to call in. Once again, you know the number 14255695241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and help me get to that next goal of 131,000.
Subscribe to youtube.com/theboxingvoice for the latest and greatest interviews with your favorite fighters.
Gentlemen, any
Let's
final
go.
thoughts?
Let's go.
Any final thoughts? No final thoughts? All right.
Final thoughts as far as the ladies fighting Taylor and Serrano, man. If they're both gonna do their fight, which I mean, they're both gonna fight the way they normally do. I just feel like Serrano's punches are gonna mean more in the long run, and it's gonna accumulate more damage than what Katie Taylor's gonna be able to do. I just don't really feel like she's got as much stopping power as Serrano. She just punches with meaner intentions. Did you guys see the picture? I kind of hate to mention it, man. I feel bad for the chick from Spain, but remember the Avatar picture. Did you see that, man? That she looked like
talking about it. They're the ones that made it.
There you go. No, you made it.
It's still on my Instagram. That shit got massive likes. Like,
bro, that was you. That's foul, yo.
Bro, let me screen share that shit, bro.
That was foul.
Bro,
that was foul, but it was accurate.
Funny as fuck.
That's exactly who she looked like after that
She
Serrano
looked
fight.
she looked just like him, bro.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy.
That shit is crazy. Like, she beat her up, like, for real. So I just think, as far as who's gonna beat each other up more, I think it's gonna be Serrano over Katie Taylor, man.
Serrano just has a much better pro style, I would say.
That's a good point. Yeah, she does have more of an amateur style of Katie Taylor, where she just gets the points in, and just kind of gets out.
But they're 2-minute rounds, so they work. So that's what I'm saying. You push that to 3. That's not good for Katie.
Because she could gas, and she sometimes, I think, struggles with that. Let me get to some of these callers. I got Steve in Chicago.
My town up in K-Town.
Hey, Daddy, this a dollar beat.
I drink soda, I eat pizza, I hang out with chicks all day. These fighters still can't beat me. They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. Just give me 6 weeks, and I got it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, good evening. You hear me in this?
What up?
Yeah. Man, you got a whole cast of characters there tonight, huh?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Hey, first I want to make a comment. So let's start off with, we know boxing has always been and will always be tribal. And no matter what anybody says or whatever they do, it'll always be like that. So in saying that, Canelo has his minions, I call it. It don't matter who he fights. Like, it's not worth even, wasting our breath. But me being a purist, I didn't like any of those guys you put up there for Canelo. But he's going to do what he's going to do. He's going to draw his numbers, and everyone will be happy with that, He's in a happy place, and nothing we can say or do is going to change that. Now, on to your next topic with Valdez. And, I'm a little tricked. When that post came out, I thought that was Loma. But in saying that, Valdez, he'll beat him. I think he deserves, to be placed somewhere in the top 10, say 7 through 10, like entry level into the pound for pound for Shakur. Either way, even if he don't, he's gonna get there one day eventually. Like, he's just too good of a talent. He's just young right now, but I think everyone can agree he's too good of a talent that he's not gonna get there one day. Eventually he will get there. It's just a matter of time. The Joe Smith, I don't know if you touched on that. Well, you said, with Canelo. I'm not going to lie to you. I sprinkled a little money on Man, why did that guy, he didn't throw any punches. Was he scared or what the frick? Get that Kevin Cunningham on here. What the hell was wrong with the guy, man? I wanted to reach through my TV screen and slap the guy. I wanted to hit him.
Bro, but
that's how mad I was.
Inactive.
He didn't throw any punches, bro. But his trainer said he was training. He was in camp. He was ready.
But he's
the
been
opportunity.
inactive. He's been inactive though, right?
No, like you gotta throw punches. Like what the hell, you know?
When
you're not throwing punches.
Yo, we didn't even talk about that, yo. That was terrible.
When you're not
That was
in the
horrendous.
ring, your timing is off. You just don't have any confidence. You gotta be in that ring.
All right.
He went in there with the Apollo Creed trunks, and he ended up looking like Apollo Plead, bro. He was like, please, man, don't beat me up, bro. He was like, he had his hands up, like he looked like he was praying half the time, bro. Like, legit, all he could do is just do his front. What do you call that? Not the
high guard.
Just the high guard. That's it. That's all he could do. He had nothing for Joe Smith, man. That was crazy.
Yeah, man. Roman in LA. What's up?
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, brother?
Hey, so I wanted to touch on a few of the topics that we got on here. Starting with obviously the Canelo thing, and I think I think I commented on there. I think he needed another option for Joe Smith, and I think that's who he's probably gonna end up fighting, and that it kind of makes sense, you know, the timeline of everything. Them saying that they're gonna be waiting until this week or next week to announce who they're gonna probably be looking at. And it makes sense because they were probably waiting for this fight to happen, see who won, and then go after that. I don't think he's probably gonna go after someone that's not a champion at 175, being that he's already fought at the weight division. Another thing with Valdez and Stevenson, I think Stevenson takes the fight. I don't know whether the fight gets made, though. I mean, even in the post and with what everyone's been saying, it seems like their main thing is they've agreed on it, except for the financial portion of it, and which can, you know, that's really a big part. I mean, that can make or break the fight. And then with the Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, I hope the fight gets made. I think... And I don't know, where would that fight even take place? Would it be not location-wise, but, you know, what network? Because it would it fall under the zone? But then again,
Katie's
you
always
think it'll fall
going to
under
be
zone?
with the zone.
Yeah, but then also doesn't Jake have that contract with Showtime?
Yeah,
so that's my
but
thing.
not
is like
Amanda. Not Amanda.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
That's
yeah,
why he could
that's
put
my take
her.
on that.
That's why he could put her on his undercards.
Yeah, I think I think Canelo ends up fighting Joe Smith. But either way, no matter who he fights, he's always going to have that. You know, if he fights Joe Smith, he's ducking Charlo, he's ducking Benavidez. Is what they're going to say. If he fights Charlo, they're going to say he's ducking Benavidez, or that he's fighting a smaller guy moving up. If he fights, what's the dude's name? The cruiserweight. I'm blanking out right now. But if he fights Makabu, they'll say, oh, he's ducking the slick black fighter. You know, it's always going to be something. So I think no matter who he fights, someone's not going to be happy. But you know, just I'm excited to see what happens with the welterweight division too, with Boots Ennis and you know, Virgil going up there, and hopefully we have some good fights coming up soon. So that's my call.
All right, Roman, man, thanks for calling in. Shout out to you.
What was the name of that guy? Roman?
Yeah.
Man, I just wanted to say Roman before he got on. My thing is this, right? It's like, as a boxing fan, like, what makes you more excited, man? Like, a Charlo versus Canelo fight or Canelo versus Makabu? Like, let's just be real here, man. Like, can we just keep it funky, like,
I mean,
for once? Like,
Makabu
what
and
really
Charlo
makes you more excited? Be for real, Nas. Like, for real.
No, but like, Makabu and Charlo been doing the same thing, man. Like, who they fighting, bro? Like, is they both the same? Makabu at least got the punching power element.
Brother, I didn't even know who Makabu was before Canelo even mentioned this guy.
But that's you. I get it, and I get it. People that don't know him don't know him, but that's you. And guess what? This fight is versus Minshew, ain't it? That's a dude that's a common opponent with Usyk. Usyk beat Minshew on HBO. Makabu.
You know what?
Makabu has been there. Man, I met Mac. See, it's different. I met him too in the 2019 WBC thing. He was there. Like he's been a WBC guy too. He got all 8 titles just like Devin. Like he been there.
He's also been knocked out twice too, though. But let me tell you something.
By cruiserweights.
But bro, Canelo got good pop in all weights. It don't matter. His weight is gonna.
He ain't no cruiserweight.
We haven't seen him at 190.
He ain't no cruiserweight.
190 is 190, bro.
Bruh, and 190 don't mean Makabu ain't rehydrating.
Yo, let me see Usyk go back down to cruiserweight, and let me see if Canelo wants that smoke, bro. I guarantee you, he does not.
Usyk said he would. Remember?
For sure not. But
Usyk said he would.
Jose, remember when you said, "Oh, let's take this back to 2017," right? Or even before that, before the Canelo Triple G fight, back when they were making the shirts, people were saying that they were talking about maybe a catch weight. People were saying Canelo was scared to move up to 160.
Yeah,
that was the rhetoric. They said he was scared to move up to 160. Now, while all of these 160 pounders are saying, "Give me the Canelo fight. I deserve the Canelo fight," Canelo's talking about fighting at 190, bro. If y'all would have told us that back then, we would have said, bet my whole life that that'll never happen. And yet, where are these other guys at? Still at 160.
The thing is,
let Canelo do his thing. He's moving up.
Callers.
Everyone else is over there. Let's get to the callers. My bad.
Brother, Canelo is an elite fighter. He's not. There's nobody elite at cruiserweight, bro. Right now, there's nobody elite. Who would you really call elite at 190 right now? Do you consider Makabu elite?
Nah, but he's 190 pounds and he's a world champion.
I mean,
is any of these last opponents that Charlo fought elite?
Exactly. Good.
Absolutely not.
Hold everybody to the same standard.
So why not fight him and get him out the way? If it's an easy cherry pick supposedly for Canelo, but the public wants to see the fight. Come on, man. You can't seriously sit here, Ness. You could probably look at the numbers when you was doing the Charlo versus Canelo shows. It was buzzing, bro. You were getting a lot more clicks and a lot more views. People care to watch that fight for some reason or other, right? Why not just get him out the way and then win, lose, or draw? I don't even care. Even if he wins or loses.
Because then there's always going to be somebody next.
Yeah, they build up Benavidez next. They're going to, after he beats Charlo, they said it's Benavidez.
And that's fine. But who's the face of boxing, though?
Canelo.
Okay, so he's the dude that needs to step up and make the fights that we want to see, bro.
Man.
Nah, the thing is,
not that
here's the deal,
hard.
bro. We agree with you.
We agree with you.
It does the best business. It does the best business. Charlo don't deserve it.
Let me get to Abraham in El Paso. Right? Let me get to this caller real quick, Jose. Abraham, what's up?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
All good. How are you?
Pretty good, dog. I just want to say that it don't matter who Canelo fights, man. Charlo and Makabu got the same chances of beating him.
Shout out to Yo Durham, yo.
That's all?
Hello?
That's it, Abraham?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right, champ. All right. I got AMG. What up? Oklahoma.
Yeah, what's up, Ness? What's up, panel?
What up?
What's up?
Yeah, on that Canelo topic, did you notice that after Michael Benson posted that, it didn't make sense because then Chava came back and said, "Oh, but the boxing purists are gonna love it." So Benson said they're gonna hate it, but then Chava says they're gonna love it. Go back and see.
Yeah, I mean, he misspelled purist, so that's why I didn't take that. He said pursue. If I'm not mistaken, I ain't see purist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did put that. But the thing is, then if you look at the comments, that's the problem, dude. That because these motherfuckers aren't fighting each other, nobody sticks out. I want to see the Charlo fight. That's the fight that I want to see. But he don't stick out. He don't stick out any more than any of the other dudes do. And if you look at the comments, whenever it's left out to mystery, look at all the comments. Everybody's saying, "Oh, it's gonna be Bevo. Oh, it's gonna be better Bevo. Oh, it's gonna be Charlo. Oh, it's gonna be Makabu." Because none of them stand out. They're all the same.
Yeah,
so I want the Charlo fight, but Canelo, do whatever the fuck you want to do, because you're the man right now. And until one of these dudes decides to step up and actually prove their name and not just keep asking for your fight, then fuck him.
What about this Shakur Valdez news?
I got Shakur. I hope it happens. But yeah, I think Shakur. He's gonna outbox him, dude. I don't see Valdez being able to hang with Shakur at all. And then with Katie and Amanda, I love that fight. I got Katie winning, but it should be a good fight. I'm excited for that one too.
All right, champ. Well, thanks for calling in.
Hey, at least we know who Charlo is, man. They don't really stick out. But Charlo at least did a pay-per-view, albeit it was with his brother, who did the co-man. I mean, he sticks out more than Makabu, bro. Like, you cannot sit here and deny that. You know what I mean?
He does.
So it's another trinket for Canelo. He goes up to another weight class, gets another belt. Who cares, bro? Who have you fought,
he
man?
He cares. It's the legacy. It's the 5 times champion. That's what you don't see.
We don't care about that, and I'll tell you, I don't care about it, and I'll tell you what, I bet you the Mexican legends don't care about it.
Mexican legends don't care about what Canelo does. Big Matthew says, do you think Makabu can beat all Canelo opponents? Good question, guys.
We'll never see it because they don't have the balls to go up to 190. So like the last caller said,
but he's saying opponents. He's saying opponents, not the ones that haven't fought him, the ones that have fought him. Callum Smith, a Liam Smith, a Daniel Jacobs. Those guys. But
none of these guys are ever going to, I mean, I don't want to say ever, but none of these guys have the audacity to say, oh, I'm going to go up to cruiserweight.
You're right about that.
This guy, Charlo, doesn't even want to go up to 168 to
Maybe
fight
Jacobs?
Benavidez.
Because I don't care for that fight, bro. I don't care for that
you
fight.
You could go to dinner.
I don't care if Charlo goes up to cruiserweight. What is that gonna do for
You're the dinner guy now. You're the dinner guy. Every time a fight's on, you going to dinner.
Brother,
Charlo going to dinner.
Oh yeah, I'll go to dinner for that too. That's for sure.
Yo,
Charlo
I'm watching
Benavidez, bro.
I'm watching Charlo. I mean,
no, hell no, I'll watch that fight for sure.
But Charlo's talking about, oh, we need that at a catch weight. So you don't
Canelo versus
need a catch weight for that.
Canelo versus Makabu to me is a big fight. That's why I can't believe that Chava's talking about that, because that's a big fight for me. Like,
that's a huge fight, bro.
None of
them
dudes is gonna fight Makabu. They'll all say he cherry picked, but none of them dudes will fight Makabu. None of them dudes.
Because they're not. Who's gonna pay for that fight, Ness? Who's gonna pay for? You think Al Heyman is gonna say, "Listen, bro, you're gonna fight Makabu on PBC on Fox, and this shit is about to be popping, bro."
And why not?
He's not in that position. He can't do that.
And why not? Why not?
No one cares
Canelo making his own
Eddie
way.
Hearn will pay for it.
Canelo making his own way.
Canelo got a country behind him, bro. People will watch that, bro.
But even if they did, they're not going to risk their health. They're not going to do it.
I would watch it. If Charlo does it, I would watch it.
Bro, I've seen highlights of Makabu, bro. I don't see what you guys see, bro. I'm not seeing it.
I mean,
bro, help me out, brother. I mean, tell me, bro.
I mean, just laughing over there.
Yo,
I got nothing
help
for
me out,
you, man.
He got a belt for a reason.
Bro, I don't see
Yo,
nothing.
Let's get to some of these
He's
calls.
straight up and down, like Mayweather said. He's straight up and down. No special effect.
Man.
I ain't
Straight up and down with 30 pounds of extra weight on Charlo.
Brother, it's not about the extra weight. It's what can you do with that weight. If you ain't got the skills to pay the bills, bro,
he can hit
you. He knocked down Bellew.
He can hit you.
He knocked down Pretty Ricky Conlon.
Bro, Bellew fucking basically killed that guy, bro, in the ring.
Because it's a fight.
I mean,
yeah, but who's Bellew though? Bellew ain't really nobody.
I mean, he's somebody. Bro. He beat an undisputed champ 2 times.
Compared to a Canelo, man, you really gonna put Bellew and Canelo on that same echelon, bro?
Bellew's Pretty Ricky Conlon.
You know what? I like Bellew.
Let me get to the caller. Let me get to a call. I got Hawk. Hawk in Maryland. Talk to us.
Yo, what's up, Ness?
What's good?
Panel and King Amin. Oh, ain't too much, my brother. Great show. Damn, what y'all had? Canelo, as far as Canelo, I mean, Makabu, Charlo, Demetrius, Andre, all of those guys are interchangeable. I don't see what none of them more important than the other if you go fight either one of them. And Charlo is the one that I think less likely to win. I don't really see the big Charlo. Now, if the little Charlo was coming up, yeah, I'd bet on him. But the other Charlo, nah, I ain't seen nothing of him. He been ducking. He ain't even jumped out there with Daniel. What's his name? Danny Jacobs had went at him right face to face, and he ain't never go back at him. So I just lost all confidence in him. I got to see him do something. But the Shakur Stevenson, I think he's the best fighter in boxing. Period. He ain't gonna have no problem with Valdez. Valdez ain't gonna be able to hit him. Who you seen hit Shakur? Out of all the top fighters y'all can name, who gets hit the less? That's Shakur. Shakur doesn't get hit in his fight. So, yeah, it's going to be a wash. And who is y'all talking about? Oh, yeah, Amanda Serrano. I got Amanda. I got Serrano, yeah, even with her Nikes on. I got her lumping that girl up. Katie, I got her lumping her up. The fight last night, Joe Smith. He talking about Canelo. Joe Smith he really looked like he could have got touched up last night. He could have got taken out. The dude job quit out there. He wouldn't do what his corner was telling him the right things, but he wouldn't do them. And Joe in there, you can throw him in the mix too with Canelo. He interchangeable. It's just Devo, that's his name. Devo. He beat Joe. Devo is the one that's special. All the rest of them, they're all interchangeable. So, but that's my call. I think Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter in boxing, period, bar none. It's going to be an easy fight for him.
Well, all right, Hawk. Thank you for calling in. Let me keep these lines moving. Looks like we got...
Because there ain't no show without Info Joe.
Are you ready for our next bout? Let me hear you. Shout out to the boxing god. It's showtime.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
The fight starts now. Give the fans a show and let your hands go.
Puff Puff Pastries on IG. Satisfy that cannabis-infused sweet tooth.
Yo, what's up, my boxing brothers?
What up, Joe?
What up, Ness? What up, King? I mean, what's up to the rest of the brothers on the panel? What's happening?
Oh.
Right. Hey, man, let me just touch on a couple of the topics. First, let me jump into Amanda Serrano, man. I think she touches Katie up, and actually, man, she one of my favorite women fighters, man. She got a great skill set, man. I love her punch selection, and she's like probably my number one female fighter, man. I like her, man. I like her style. I like her aggressiveness. I like her punch selection. As far as Canelo, man, I just pray the boxing gods block. What y'all mentioned, like Jake Paul and Triple G. Man, I hope the boxing gods come down like a bolt of lightning and stop that shit. Hope that's not the fight. Out of Charlo in the cruiserweight, man, I would like to see Charlo, man. We've been talking about it for some years now. So, like the other brother said on there, let's get that fight out the way. I don't think Charlo can beat Canelo, but let's just get that fight out the way. I think it'll sell out more, and I think the build up along it'll be good. What else? What was the other topic? Oh, let me chime in on this, man. What y'all think? So you said Clayton and Ennis is gonna fight for that number 2 spot, right?
I'm saying that's what
Ennis
it looked
is ranked
like.
number 3, right?
That's what it looked like because they moved Clayton up 9 spots, and now he at number 5.
Okay, so now if Spence fighting you guys coming up, they only fight 2 times a year, which is a goddamn shame. But it looks like we ain't gonna see Crawford versus Spence then, because he gonna have that mandatory whoever winning the fight out of that Clayton and in this fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because IBF they enforce that shit. So that's bad for boxing, man. Shit, I don't think Ennis gonna take no step aside money. I got Ennis winning that fight, but that's bad. That I mean, even though I would like to see the
because
Spence.
if you do an eliminator with Ennis and Clayton this year, man, he ain't getting no shot till next year. Where'd you go, champ? Where'd you go?
Crawford.
You're going through a bad service area right now on us.
Oh, man.
Hello. Call you info no.
Hey, yo, shout out to Info Joe, man. I met him.
Joe don't even know that he met you. He don't remember the appreciation night. You showed up to what, the Vegas one, right?
I showed up to the Vegas one, on the West Coast.
I remember you gave me a one hitter pipe.
Bro, I gave you some shit, man. I gave you some moon rocks.
We was
remember those?
getting at night. I remember that. I remember you, bro.
Hey, shout out to Joe, man. Joe's the best, man. He's the coolest.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate y'all,
Bless
man.
up,
Y'all
bless
have a
up
good
to
evening,
you and
man.
your
That's
wife,
all I
man.
got, champs.
For sure. Hey, Ness, man, you got to give that appreciation party a little bit more credit, man. Because
No, listen. I wish, man. I want to do more, but it's been 5 years. It's just so hard, bro. That New York City one, that shit was like over $10,000, bro. It's so much. Just so much work, bro. It's so much work. You got to deal with different vendors and renting venues and, DJs and entertainers and microphone setup and audio visual. Because we had Wilder on that one. He FaceTime, so we had to have a projector on the wall. It's just so much. Then inviting people and people tickets and oh my God, guys.
Bro, but that shit was nice, man. It was intimate. Like, it wasn't too crazy crowded with people.
Yeah.
And you had enough space where you could kind of move around.
No, but you went to a perfect one. Wilder showed up to that one. Caleb Plant, Peter Quillen,
Kid Chocolate, yep.
Everybody was there. In terms of stars, that one was bigger. But in terms of attendees, man, New York was huge. It was like 120 of us or more.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I got who I got here.
I'm good. I beat Polly. I left with his belt and his girl.
This a dollar beat.
Hey, Pops, brush my hair one time. And I know all y'all against me. All that soft talking. I know you can do it, man. You got the. Let's shut that soft ass shit up.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yo, what up?
What up?
Man, just getting off of being off of the road, man. Silver Gloves was a tough drive, man. It's fucking cold out.
Was the cold ride worth it? Did you win?
Well, put it this way, I got up there, and then nobody in our weight class showed up, so we went unopposed. So we're going to nationals. Okay. Shout out to JT because I see JT up at nationals. Plus, I'm trying to find him some sparring down here in Wisconsin. So we might link up and shit. He's gonna bring his boys down here. Probably we'll get him some sparring at the gyms. But yeah, man, I guess it was worth it. We going to nationals, and I think we got a good chance to win, man. Like I told you, Kevin's special, so we'll see how that all goes. But I got to go to California the week before with one of my pros, too. So I'll be pretty busy coming up.
Damn.
Yeah, but beyond that.
In your life.
What's up?
You need some sponsors in your life.
I know, man. I'm working on it, man. Trust me, I'm working on some big ones, but I got to show them the right stuff because I got a couple with some deep pockets, like some international ones. But you know how that goes. You really got to, you got to work at that to get in those pockets. But, as far as everything, I think Canelo, I'm not mad about whoever he picks at this point. To be honest with you, it'd be like a good and bad thing if he picked like a Jake Paul. I'd love to see Jake Paul get his fucking face broken in half by a real boxer. I think that's not even legitimate. I don't think Jake he got some balls and he likes to fight, but they better be giving a big check to get his face broke by Canelo. And I don't think that Canelo would do it anyways, just based off his previous reactions to him. What else were we talking about?
Shakur,
Serrano.
Stevenson, and Oscar Valdez near done. Serrano and Katie Taylor near done.
Those are good fights.
Yeah.
Love to see Serrano, Katie Taylor. I think Serrano represents a real problem for Katie Taylor. I think that's very much a 50-50 fight that will be great. Shakur, I think he pieces up Valdez pretty easily. Although I like Valdez, I don't think he's on Shakur's level. When they say there's levels to this shit, I think Oscar Valdez is definitely a level below Shakur. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I got, man. I'm a rest up, man. I did some training today for Border Wars. Get ready to take Jose's strap from him. So yeah, that's what I got, man. Shout out to everybody on the panel, and y'all have a blessed night.
You too, my friend. Appreciate you calling in. We got Hawk in Maryland on the Cash App check-in. He says TBV #1, all the rest cookie cutters. Hit the like button, fam. So go ahead and listen to my man and hit that like button. We going out to long time caller.
Ace Money the shit. Working that wrist. Diamonds wet like a fish. Pull up with them sticks. Come fuck with the clique. We fucked on your bitch. She sucking the dick.
What's going on? It's your boy H Money, Mr. DAZN. We in the building. Let's get it. Let's go. Nestor Gibbs. We talking about Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. Devin Haney said he want the smoke. He called out George Kambosos today. George Kambosos, it's time to put up or shut up. Let's do it for the fans. The real undisputed. You beat Teofimo Lopez, but you can't beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the dream. He's going for history. He's going for legacy. Let's go, Bill Haney. Let's go. Let's bring the belts back to America. Devin Haney, he took the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? He said he go to Australia. He agreed to all terms. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you like this. David Morrell Jr. is Mr. Free Smoke, and he's looking for David Benavidez. Tell me, have you seen David Benavidez? Because he been capping. That boy waiting on the Canelo fight David Morrell. Yeah, they both with Louis the Cubans Jr. That's an easy fight to make. You know what I'm saying? In-house. I talked to his manager today. They said they want Benavidez, and we looking for him. Benavidez is a duck. Duck-avidez. You know what I'm saying? He's not the boogeyman. Morrell is the real boogeyman. David Morrell Jr., the next Muhammad Ali, the new Cassius Clay from Cuba. Let's go, Mr. Free Smoke. Let's do it. Let's go, baby.
Shout out H Money. Shout out H Money. We got Big Fish. Actually, sorry. We got Mr. Maldonado on the check-in. Oh shit, where'd I put that?
Bro, that energy was insane, bro. Shout out to H Money, yo.
All right. Well, in the meantime,
I'm healthy, strong, and about to knock Earl Spence out in Jesus' name. I'm bringing the whole church.
SDS Promotion.
You win some, you lose some. But you live and fight another day.
I got the whole Christian congregation behind me.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
In Jesus' name.
And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing ring.
Yo, what's good, Ness?
What up? What up? What up?
What's up, brother? Great show. Yeah, man, I can't wait to see the Oscar. So that's official, the Oscar Valdez versus Shakur.
Yeah. I mean, it's near finalization. So yeah, we're gonna definitely keep our fingers crossed and hope that the boxing gods bless us.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's a good one right there. I like Oscar Valdez, but you know, I definitely got Shakur. He's nice. Like he just is. I'm glad it's happening. I hope it really does come through, you know. See, 2022 about to be nice if we get these fights that people want to see, not fights that people don't want to see. Just because you can supposedly you the cash cow, you could do whatever you want. We're not gonna watch you. But anyways, I'm gonna get off that. Get my man Devin Haney versus Kambosos. Like, it's gotta happen. Like, Devin is the guy. Like, I feel like that'd be a huge challenge for him too. You know, I think he'll win, but it won't be easy. But I think he could do it. You know, other than that, Joe Smith Jr., he did his thing. I don't know what that other guy was doing. I had to go with Joe Smith. He just had his hands up at the whole time. I think somebody said it on the panel. He was praying or something. I don't know what he was doing, but and then lastly, Bills Mafia. Yeah, we real out here. So, you know, put some respect on our name in Buffalo. 716. You already know what it is. It's big fish. We swimming. And God bless y'all.
All right.
What was the name of that caller real quick? I'm sorry.
That's Davidian from Buffalo Falls.
Oh, Davidian, man. Hey, that game yesterday looked cold as hell in Buffalo, man. That was crazy. But I just had a question for you. If not Devin Haney for George Kambosos, what would be a satisfactory name on the resume of Kambosos?
I don't think it's about satisfactory. I think it's about keeping that undisputed energy. Like, why are you fighting Loma if there's another belt?
The only thing I could come up with, that's right?
That's like Charlo fighting anybody other than Castaño. You wouldn't want.
No, I hear you, and I'm 100% down with that idea. But for some reason, if in our wildest imagination, why that fight didn't get made, it would be because George Kambosos chose to fight who, and you would be okay with it.
It's not that I would be okay with it. He chose to fight Loma because Top Rank wanted to intercept. They playing chess.
I would only accept Tank because Tank is technically like a bigger name than Haney. Right now, he's a pay-per-view star. He's been doing this thing. A Tank fight will be fire, but you know, for the undisputed, for the hardcores, I would prefer that. But Tank would be okay, I guess.
I want undisputed because that's allegedly what all these dudes out here be acting like is the best thing to happen. So they need to keep the same energy. When Canelo had to get the last belt, they said he had to get the last belts. This guy needs to get the last belt. But let me get to some of these super chats and some more callers. Shout out to everybody calling in. We got Big Matthew out in the UK. Shout out for staying up late. What it says, he says, I want Macaboo. Canelo too good for people his own way. Which is true. Jaguar Paul, he says, are Charlo's cheerleaders forgetting Charlo PBC duck Canelo? Bunch of babies. With the baby emoji and the baby bottle emoji. RNS1 says, winner of Earl Spence Jr. versus Ugas has to fight Stenonius. Earl Spence Jr. damn there paid his way out of a fight with Bud. I don't know.
That's a stretch. I don't know.
I know. RNS1 back with another. He says, winner of Stenonius Botiev fights Earl Spence Jr. Ugas winner. Let's see. I doubt that they're going to go straight into anything with Earl Spence when they'll keep accepting step-aside money, man. Remember, Victor Postal took step-aside money like 2-3 times, man. These dudes want that money. They want that money. That's a camp you don't got to take and punches you ain't got to take, and it's free money. And you're still in position. But let me get to David Maldonado, New York City.
Listen, Vegas don't know nothing. The world don't know nothing. Only I know everything.
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats.
Oh, what a big shot by Lopez!
I told everybody!
TheBoxingVoice.com.
What he done to the boxing world?
got it, bro. Yo, breaking news, May. The former king of the lightweight division, Teofimo the Get Back Lopez, is coming back to fight either Jose Cepeda or Arnold Barbosa. He's not looking for a soft touch. He's looking for one of the top dogs. Teofimo's coming back to take over the game. Canelo Alvarez, I seen something about him being on the topic. What's going on with Canelo, Ness?
I'm too busy trying to find my...
Who the fuck is that guy?
Soundbite.
Whoa,
man.
whoa,
Get the
whoa.
fuck out of here. Like, stop acting like those two names are even acceptable for Tio's level. He's supposed to be trying to fight Josh Taylor.
I know that, but you know that that's not gonna happen coming off a loss. Those two guys are better than fucking Mario Barrios. What are you talking about? Those are top contenders at 140. A win over Arnold Barbosa and Jose Cepeda.
Why are you moving up?
Because he can't make the weight. He can't make the weight no more. That's why. He's moving up to conquer another division.
Your discipline ain't there. How old is he?
No. Your body goes. Your body.
How old is he?
He's 24. He's 24 years old, bro.
So he's the same age as everybody else.
He's been fighting there for years, bro. Everybody's body's
and
different,
everybody,
man.
and he ain't fight, and everybody else ain't fighting there for years.
Dog, Miguel Cotto.
Ryan don't even fight. Ryan don't even fight, and he still fight at 35. Get out of here, man. Stop putting up passes
right now.
Stop putting passes up. Ryan and talks to fight two dudes: Neno Rodriguez, Saul Neno Rodriguez, or Marcita Gesta.
Damn, I heard of him. Wow, bro.
And Oscar tweeted. And Oscar tweeted yesterday that he working on something big. I promise I'm working on something big for Ryan. So we don't even know.
Jose Cepeda's a hell of a fighter, man. He knocked out Jose Valdez. And just like I told you, George Kambosos is going to beat 782. I told you he was a hell of a fighter also, bro. The takeovers coming in 2022.
Imagine losing all your belts and coming back to Jose Cepeda. That's your comeback.
Jose Cepeda will knock out. That's 140. That's an acclamation fight. You got to do it right.
Champ, only you and me know Jose Cepeda. At least fucking, motherfucking Danny fought Paulie, and you know what I'm saying? Like, Jose, nobody knows Cepeda.
Nobody knew George Kambosos, and I told you about him.
But listen to me. But you know what? Keep doing what you're doing. You keep giving them guys good advice, man, because they swore they was pay-per-view stars based off of the shit y'all been talking. And look, now they about to fight Cepeda. They going to make sure they never get on pay-per-view.
Hey, but hold up.
So let me ask you.
Did Teofimo say he's going to 140 for sure?
I mean, Devin fought Gamboa.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%
Devin fought Gamboa, Linares.
Okay, Gamboa's washed up. Get out of here. Don't mention no. Don't mention
Diaz. No, brother, they names, man. They names, man. William Cepeda. Them dudes ain't. Who are they, man? But give him advice. Go ahead, let him fight a hardcore. He gonna fight a hardcore top rank fight, and he ain't gonna get no publicity.
Who's at 140 though? Let me ask you a question. Who should he fight? All right, if you were managing his career, let's play matchmaking. If you his manager, who would you match him at for his first fight at 140?
Cepeda, man.
I'm asking you the question. No, Cepeda, exactly.
Yeah.
Who would you? Cepeda. He's coming off of a big win.
He right.
Jose Vargas.
You not right.
He's a good fighter.
My pick would be Jose Ramirez, a two-time, a unified former champ, not fucking Cepeda.
He's fighting,
you know what I'm saying?
Fighting Pedraza, though, bro.
Last I checked, that fight fell apart. Come on, man. Play catch up.
Yeah, I didn't know that. All right, but you know what? Either way,
you didn't know somebody tested positive or some shit like that. That shit got pushed back. I guarantee you that. I'm about to Google that shit right now. Fights. Jose.
Still got two fights on top rank. Two of them is pay-per-view. One of them is a tune-up fight, right?
You cutting out. Yelling don't work. What'd you say?
Hold on. Let me fix my connection. Hold on. Man, hold on.
That's that cheap tooth. You got that cheap tooth. Look, postpone February 5th fight.
He got two pay-per-view fights.
Look, it say right here on January 10th, which is 6 days ago, Jose Pedraza falls ill. forces postponement of the planned February 5th fight with Jose Ramirez. Ooh, Tio swoops in and saves the day. Tio swoops in and saves
three
the
fights
day.
on pay. Listen, Tio got 3 top-ranked fights. 2 of them are pay-per-view. One of them is going to be like an acclamation fight.
Stop saying that, man.
No, I'm going to tell you. Listen to me.
Stop
Jose
saying
Cepeda
that,
is
man.
a tune-up.
Stop saying that.
Josh
Tio
Taylor's
ain't getting no
pay-per-view.
fucking pay-per-view. This guy's crazy.
With Josh Taylor, he is.
Bro, that
Josh
fight,
Taylor, he is.
Listen, that
And then
contract
maybe
got
Ramirez.
amended. The minute he lost them belts, that contract got it. That was a contract when he had
Let
all
me
the
tell you
belts,
something.
man. You sound crazy.
Let me give you a
right
quick
now.
That's real talk. I sent you a good documentary. I hope you watch it. Let me give you a quick little history lesson real quick about the lightweight division. Roberto Duran, who's considered, hear me out, don't cut me off. Duran is the greatest lightweight of all time. While he was champion, he took a loss earlier in his career as well to a guy named Esteban de Jesus, who turned out to be a hell of a fighter. And happens.
The Honduran to the Panamanians. Stop.
Hold on.
Let me finish. Thank you, bro.
No,
Thank you.
all he gonna
Duran lost.
all he gonna do is sing
Listen,
a sad
man,
story.
you cut me off, man. I'm paying for my call, man.
Man, your call been over. You only get 3 minutes.
I know, but I'm trying to put you on.
You ran.
talking over me.
No, you ain't trying to put me. You trying to make a case for a dude with one
No,
loss.
listen to me.
Still
Listen to me.
being
Duran
able to
lost.
be great.
Listen to me. Duran lost to this guy who was a non-title fight, right? And then they had a rematch. Duran beat him in a rematch. And then they went their separate ways for a couple of years. And De Jesus went on to win 2 more titles. In the third fight, it ended up being an undisputed fight. That's one of Duran's biggest rivals. And he lost to that guy early in his career. And Duran still turned out to be the greatest Latin fighter of all time. So you can't not see a female for having an early loss right now with Cambrosas. Cambrosas might turn out to be a legend one day.
You trying to have us all wish on a star. That's all I'm saying. You trying to have us all wish that everything plays out great for Tio and he ends up back at the top. Come on, man. Not fighting Cepeda.
That's right. The takeover's coming back, bro.
Not fighting Cepeda.
I got a source. He's gonna fight Cepeda or Barbosa.
Yo, your source,
Barbosa, whatever his name is.
Your source is Punch. We all know Punch, man. Get out of here.
Punch is the only one that they talk to, though. They don't fuck with nobody else because everybody fuck. And the other guy that called,
everybody.
We told everybody.
We motivated
and the other dude that called, hold up.
We motivated
and I'm gonna call
the
out the other dude that called. Hold on. And I never call out your fellow callers. I don't do that. I'm humble. But the other dude that called, that dude was Devin Haney's biggest mascot at one point, right? And then he flip-flopped when Punch put him in check, and he became Tio fan. Now he's dissing Tio, and he's going back with Devin Haney. Get the fuck out of here, man. What's his name? H Money. He switched on Tio. First he was riding with Devin Haney, right? And then he turned on Devin Haney and started riding Tio. Now he's back on Devin Haney. Come on, bro. Come on, man. As far as Devin Haney goes, he got it. I hope he gets to fight with Cambrosas because he earned it. He earned it. But I don't think he's going to win, though, because Cambrosas got some fast hands. If Cambrosas gets in range the way JoJo
cursed,
did,
man.
he might
Your
be
man
damaged.
got the duck curse, man. He ain't fight Devin Haney, so he lost the Cambrosas.
How can it be a duck if he fought Lomachenko? He beat the White Wolf. He beat the White Wolf.
Yeah,
what you talking about?
Then,
he beat the White Wolf.
And then after he could have fought Devin Haney, but instead he wanted to
My
make
man,
big bucks.
Lomachenko would beat the brakes out of Lomachenko would beat the brakes out of everybody there. At 135, Lomachenko will beat everybody there except maybe Tank.
I'm with this guy. We don't know that.
Man, Devin Haney beats the shit
who
out
agrees
of
with me?
man.
Hold on. Who's that agrees with me? What's your name, champ? That agrees with me. What's your name?
Ray the business right here. I agree with you. And I think
beats
Tio will come
the
back.
shit out of y'all White Wolf.
No, he won't. No, he won't. First of all, he got no power. He got no power, bro.
Lomachenko.
He got no power, bro. My man, get out of here, nigga. The Matrix.
On that level.
Dog. You see what he did to Comey. You see what he did to fucking Nakatani, nigga. You see what he did to Linares,
Robert Easter showed us that shit how many years ago? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
You see what he did to Linares. He knocked Linares out. Linares out when he was in his prime.
You see what Devin
Lomachenko
Haney
will beat the
did.
brakes off of Devin Haney. Devin Haney almost got knocked out.
Yeah.
Devin Haney almost got knocked out.
Before that, he had 7 straight rounds not being touched.
So what? So it don't matter. It don't matter. Lomachenko, I guarantee you.
Linares put Lomachenko down. Don't forget that. Devin Haney stood up. Devin Haney stood up. Fuck out of here. Y'all motherfuckers like to discredit people that don't even go down.
But was that
Dog,
the same?
Lomachenko would beat the brakes off Devin
Linares
Haney.
got knocked out first round after that.
Yo,
Exactly.
Lomachenko would beat him so bad that his ass took a franchise title not to fight him. Fuck out of here.
My man, there was no money in Devin Haney.
It's his fault.
There was no money. There was no money in Devin Haney. Why fight Devin Haney when you could fight in-house against the Latino in New York?
You sound stupid. October 2019, there was no money in DAZN. There wasn't no pandemic.
Yeah, but he's top ranked.
There wasn't no pandemic.
You and I both know that politics, bro.
Man, get the fuck out of here. They let him go to the UK. He fought Luke Campbell. Don't give me that shit. He ducked, man.
Exactly, the UK. The UK, bro. That's money over there, bro.
Listen to me.
The UK.
Listen to me. If Canelo ducked Charlo, Vasil ducked Haney, man.
No, because at the time, Mauricio was saying that the franchise belt was a super title. So if I'm them, I'm taking the same thing. It's a super title. But then later, Mauricio wanted to come back and say, "Oh, no, well, I don't even know what's going on with my own title." So I'm all day, every day. The franchise title is the elevation. That's the super title. And the regular, as long as there's a franchise, the world title is the same thing as a WBA regular.
All right, Mr. Maldonado, always taking more time than he needs to.
Bro, the only reason why Ray has a leg to stand on is because of the terrible job, in my opinion, that Ray? Mauricio Suleiman has. Ray the business.
What leg he standing on?
About
the yeah.
Man, you kind of messed up my train of thought. Well, he was just saying about the franchise title being the elevated super title. The only reason he has a leg to stand on is because of the bad job that Mauricio Suleiman has been doing clarifying the whole fucking situation, and he's even gone public and people have quoted him.
Bro, there's no leg to stand on.
Mauricio don't even know.
Bro,
franchise title was the super title, so technically Ray isn't wrong. He's not wrong.
No, technically he's wrong. Both of you guys are wrong.
Because Mauricio changed it.
No.
I'm just going by what
it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what Mauricio changed. Like, the belt didn't exist until Charlo had to fight Canelo. Like, why do you need Mauricio to explain what he did?
Because it's his title. He's the president.
Come on,
it's his belt.
Man. You guys
when the first WBA super title came to be, how the hell did that happen? Right?
I don't know, but I lived through this one, and that was a duck.
So what I'm trying to say, I agree with you. I feel like he does need to fight Haney to become the true undisputed in people's eyes, right? They don't even list them under those 6 names, right?
Everybody went to the conference,
rename the list of undisputed people. Bro, he wouldn't even pop up on the list. But
if Haney wasn't a problem, why did Ejali just whatever Klimas, fucking Lomachenko, Carl Moretti, and one other top ranked guy all show up to the convention to make sure they get franchised?
I don't know, man. The only thing I know,
the same reason that you would fight, you would be the super champion, so you don't have to.
So you don't have to fight the tough fighter.
That's why he could go fight Teofimo for the undisputed
in-house.
When Mauricio said this would count, he would say this would count. This would count for the undisputed.
But you know it's not. But you know it's not. Because there's another dude.
Said it, but Mauricio said it, then it is.
The rules state that the person who fights the mandatories is the champion, not this clown with this fake ass belt.
So the regular title is the champion?
Always.
Who's the real champion?
Always been. Whoever makes the mandatories. Even in the WBA, they just got that super shit for no reason, but it's the regular. It's the regular that makes the mandatories. When has Floyd ever did a WBA mandatory? That's why Keith had got elevated.
So when Keith Thurman had the title, who was under him that had the regular title, and did you consider him?
He had the regular title.
But remember, he got elevated though, did he not?
Floyd had the super.
Floyd vacated?
Did Keith not?
Floyd had super, and then he got elevated to super.
But if you're the super champion,
did Keith ever get super?
Yeah, he got super.
Yeah, he got super.
Okay, so who was under him?
Fucking Jamal James.
Okay, so who was really
Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao wasn't there in the beginning. Don't stop.
When you had
in the beginning, but afterwards,
when you had to unify, and you had to become undisputed, who did you have to go through? Keith Thurman or Manny Pacquiao?
Thurman.
No. Yeah, Keith Thurman.
In my eyes, right? In my eyes,
you have to fight the you
got to fight the super champion to unify.
Here's the point I'll make, right?
But that's because all these sanctioning bodies are out for money. You can't go off these belts.
Yeah, they're all scams. If you talk to any English teacher in America and you say, hey, what does the word elevate mean? If you say, hey, I'm elevated to franchise title, you're above. And now it's the same thing as the super, but now we're going to pretend that the WBC, it ain't the same thing as the super. But what I will say,
because it's not one in every division, Ray. You can't make it the same.
There's not a super champion in every division of the WBA.
What? It sure looks that way. Looks like every single division has one.
Because it's been around longer, but let's take a look. I don't believe so. But listen, on that note, let me take this second. I got to sign off, guys. All right. I appreciate that. We'll table this for another discussion because I actually do like this discussion. This is a good little heated debate.
I got callers anyway, man. We appreciate you, Ray. Give out your social media, man.
Everybody, follow me over at The Business Boxing on Instagram. I appreciate you guys. Ness, you the man. King Amin, you the man. Matt, you the man. Jose, you the man. Callers.
Good one, man.
Get your calls in. Take care, guys. Good night.
Man, you got anything, man? You've been quiet for a minute, man. You got anything you want to...
I'm just enjoying the conversation. A lot of valid points brought up on a lot of the topics. And I do think that the WBC situation is unfortunate. I don't think Charlo was ever officially Canelo's mandatory. I think the WBC actually put that off for a while. I think they actually put it off and then elevated him to franchise champion.
Politics as usual.
Yeah, definitely politics, but, officially, I don't think he was ever the mandatory. I still want to see that fight, though. I agree with Jose. That fight should happen. I wouldn't be mad with Makabu either, but Charlo and Canelo's a good fight stylistically. I like the style matchup.
Exactly. It just goes back to what I said earlier, man, which is whether Canelo wins, loses, or draws Charlo, if he at least fights him, then just takes care of what he's got to do. He's the one that's the face of boxing, right? Charlo's not the face of boxing, unfortunately, even though he has the potential to be, right? So the thing is, if Canelo's the face of boxing, just fucking fight the guy, because it's what we want to see. A lot of people, not everybody wants to see it, but a lot of people want to see it. Get rid of the guy and then just move up, win, lose, or draw. I will respect that, and I will buy his next fight. You don't got to worry about that.
Is mainstream media talking about Charlo? Am I missing something? Like, is Stephen A. Smith like on Sports? Like, what am I missing here? Am I like, what's going on? Who's talking about Charlo in the regular world?
Stephen A. Smith was talking about him in Makabu, bro. Good job,
And at the same time, to Nessa's point, Charlo's not doing anything to put himself also in a position where he's saying where people are clamoring to see it. Yeah, there are a lot of people that want to see it, but it's not huge. Like, for example, Ness made a perfect reference. Triple G versus Canelo was huge. Everybody was calling for that fight. But Charlo hasn't done anything to put himself in that position yet.
Well, no one else is doing it, though. That's the thing. The only person, honestly, that I saw in my mind making like a huge mega fight down, you know what I mean, like this huge rivalry type deal down the line would have been Canelo, like when he's almost like on his way out, and then your boy Edgar Berlanga had established himself. He just kept wrecking people, got a few titles, and then maybe they met up like towards the end. You know what I mean? That's like the next huge mega fight that I would have seen. Mexico versus Puerto Rico would have been, I think, a big fight. But other than that, what other names do you see other than like a Charlo or an Andre? Like, those other guys really ain't established.
That's probably the reason why you don't rush to a Charlo fight, because it's the only other super fight out there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Ness said. So Charlo has to build himself up.
From a monetary perspective, but right, we're casual fans. Like, we want it now, right? Like, we're in the time and age, right, where if you want something, man, you can get it delivered to your house immediately. You don't even got to go out the house. Any kind of satisfaction we got nowadays is something fast, right? So it's like, dude, we want the fight now, man. I don't want to sit there and do the Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather shit again. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that shit was exhausting, bro. And even though it was the highest grossing fight of all time, I think that, or either that one or McGregor, it's like, dude, it was overripe at that point. You know what I mean? Most people was just like, yeah, you know, like, I'm going to watch it because it's a once in a lifetime deal, but it wasn't as juicy as, let's say, when Manny had knocked out Hatton or something like that, right? Like,
and to that point, it's funny because
get up the perfect time.
It's funny because I feel like Canelo's getting like the Mayweather effect, you know? Like nobody really gave Mayweather that much props for Hatton, even though he knocked him out before Manny did. And when Manny knocked out Hatton, the whole world went crazy. It was like,
exactly.
Okay.
Let me jump out to this caller real quick. I got Jaime in North Carolina.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
What up?
What up?
Just calling to talk boxing, man. Man, there's a lot to talk about. First, man, Taylor's a sore loser. He needs to get in the back of the line. We're talking him moving up to 140. I think Cepeda, Montana Love, Ramirez, those are all good fights for him to come back to. But if you're staying at 135, which I don't think he is, he got to get back in line. Shakur and Valdez, man, that's a great fight. You know, they've been following each other around for some time now. But I got to rock with Shakur. You know, he's nice. I feel that he's going to run through everybody in the long run. But yeah. Now, Canelo, man, that's a lot of options he has on his plate. But at the end of the day, he could. What I feel would be best for his legacy is a run at 175. You know, I think that's better for his legacy than Makabu. You know, he would shut a lot of people up if he went for undisputed at 175. But you know, 168, Charlo with Triple G, I think does the biggest numbers. But you know, at the end of the day, he's going to do what he wants. But yeah, man. What else is there? Crawford, man. I really want to see Crawford fight somebody big this year. You know, Herman, Virgil. You know, somebody, because it looks like Spence ain't gonna fight him this year. He's got other plans, but yeah, man. That's all I got.
All right, champ. Let me get out to James Benitez.
Listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
And it's not going the distance. Either he'll wave the white flag or I'll wave it for him.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
A lot of you live believable lives. It's easy to sit in those seats. It ain't easy to stand up here. Remember that.
Matter of fact, when I smacked his brother in this gym right here, he didn't do anything. All he did was stand there like a big fat pussy.
Your mind, how does that fight go?
With me getting my hand raised.
SDS Promotions.
Hey, yo, shout out to SDS, dude. That intro is insane, yo.
What's up, panel, man? What's up, Ness? What's going on?
What up? What up?
Doing well. I guess let me go ahead and get to it right quick. I'm kind of disappointed that Shakur announced this the other day, man. I mean, when he said he was going to fight a fight that's going to be pound for pound, I mean, Valdez, this is a great fight, man. But come on, man. This is like pound for real, man. If we look at Shakur's resume, I mean, Nakadophilia, Chris Diaz, Joel Gonzalez, Herring, then you got Valdez. I mean, it's cool. It'll put him on the cusp of being pound for pound. But it was like a Oma, it was like a Tank or something like that, or even a George Camposos. It would have been undoubtedly pound for pound resume. You know, next topic, you was talking about Amanda Serrano. I mean, shoot, she wears some heavy Jordans, man, because she's a flat-footed fighter, man, and she plays her punches damn well. I mean, if they would actually go ahead and try the 3-minute rounds or whatnot, I believe she would stop Katie Taylor, man. Such an amateur-ass style, in my opinion, man. But even still, even if the fight is still at 2-minute rounds, she probably gonna stop Taylor late, man. That's just how I feel. And I believe if Jake Paul would have been in her corner in 2019 instead of Lou DiBella or whatever, that fight would have really happened July 4th of 2020. Because that's when it was supposed to happen at Manchester Arena. Next topic. Teal's coming back to fight Barbosa. Who the fuck cares, man? I mean, if you're fighting a Robert Easter, Mikey Garcia, Montana Love, I think we'll actually give Teal more credit, saying that he's trying to become the backup face of ESPN and trying to be back the face of the next division he's trying to take over again. I mean, and Canelo, you know how I feel about Canelo versus Charlo, man. I mean, he did a pay-per-view with his brother, and I mean, you split the numbers and shit. You got to put it like 65, 70,000 that he might have did, but both of them being the biggest face of their respective divisions, they only did 130 together, 130K. That's not good, man. He's not no real draw. But Canelo versus Makabu, man, I mean, he'll probably get an easy 500,000 just from the casuals because you got to think, man, he's going up into a higher division. He struggled with Kovalev. So people can actually be able to pitch it like, oh, man, this is another 15-pound feat. So we can actually see if he's actually going to struggle or whatnot. It actually gives fans something to think about. Nobody's fearful of him and Charlo, man. And yo, Ness, man, I'm not going to do no more hate tonight. I'm just going to respect the show. And I'm out, man. Peace.
All right. I got Mad Bet 100 with a super chat that says, franchise title is a duck title. Where the franchise belt at?
It is.
We got another super chat from DSV and Company who said Floyd ducked Keith, and that's how the WBA became super. Excuse me. That's how the WBA super came. And we got Gil who says, I just want Amin to say something. Shout out TBV and the fam. Amin, are you alive?
Nah, I was chilling, man. I was just letting everybody else get it on. Gil is, you know what I'm saying? He tripping. As a matter of fact, I had stepped away for a minute too. But I'm back. I was letting everybody get a chance to get it off. But truthfully, I mean, how could you respect the title? You know, somebody talked about it and it sounded good. To be the man, you got to beat the man. But when the man emailing and getting the belt, that's not class at all. So, you know, and the logic is like, oh, but you jaywalking, but I know you was trying to avoid a car, but it's the law. Like sometimes the law ain't what it is, and this is a bullshit, circumstance where they would keep Devin Haney in the lurch, knowing that Tio ducked him. So again, that duck curse hit him. Kambosos reaped the benefits of it. Now Kambosos got to be careful that he don't get the duck curse. It might get passed down. So he better just do what he do.
Damn.
You're welcome, Gil.
Yeah. We got King Born in the building.
Brooklyn Zoo is coming through your town.
Let's get to it.
When you see old dirty bastards in a position like that, then you know they don't get ready to bust your.
I love my TVV, comrades.
TheBoxingVoice.com.
Listen, man.
What?
Goddamn Spider Crime, goddamn South Shane. That's all I need. And I'm good.
SDS Promotions.
Hey, yo. Check it out, man. Listen. Yo, love my TVV comrades. Love my TVV comrades, man. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I saw John Wick 2 shit tonight. You feel me? All y'all goddamn motherfucking, what's your names called? Oh, yeah, what's his name? Errol Spence, the big fish, Megalodon, he's getting poisoned. He's getting ripped apart. Who's going to beat him down? For free. I gave y'all 1 hour. Y'all excommunicado. Get the fuck out of here, because I got 14 million fans, 14 million dudes. We hunting y'all down. We got a 14 million head on y'all. When Ugas beat them, I don't want to hear nothing. The shit that's gonna go on this year, we gonna get Thurman and Bud. That's how it's going down. And let me tell y'all something about Joe Smith and that dude he fought, man. That dude looked like he just came out the halfway house. Just looked like he
oh man.
He's supposed to beat him. He's supposed to beat him down. Shit was easy food, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. You better tell Cruiserweight, Miriam Makeba, Makubu, if he a poet, whoever the fuck he is, we don't give a fuck about that. All we want Paulo and we want goddamn Benavidez. Or go to 175 and mix it up with the big boys, man. Fuck this bullshit. I got a new intro. It's kind of changed for me, so I'm coming out buck wild from now on. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. And let's take it to New York with my man Supernova. Listen, you saw his mascot and shit. His fucking gold beard was better than Supernova gold beard. You heard? But listen though, man. 126, Gary Russell. Come out and play, man. Take off the docket, man. Stop bullshitting, man. Fight somebody. Fight my man Supernova, man. Let's get it in the mix, y'all. Like I said, I'm on my Oracle shit. I'm on my Medusa shit, turning motherfuckers to stone. You heard? This how it's going down. We getting Bud and Thurman, and with that Cambroso shit. Listen, yo, next, you ain't fucking with Middle East. I'm not. I'm not getting on no plane for 20 hours. So the shit gonna go down.
I might.
But listen, though, dog. So you better have that. You better have it on video on camera with the dots, Shiki on in the turban and shit, looking Arab out there. You heard? But listen. It's gonna be Cambroso and Loma. Y'all keep fucking around with Bob and shit. He coming for your head. Cause if Haney fuck up the money or don't want to fight, Bob gonna swoop in with that ESPN money and get Lomachenko. Lomachenko on some man possessed shit right now.
King Bond, thank you for calling. And that looks like we got to everybody. I think I got, let me see, to all the super chats too. We last stopped on our me. Let me refresh.
Man, that call was quality, man. That shit was just.
I see. He had you tearing up over there.
I love the energy, man. I just love how enthusiastic people can get about boxing. You're like, you gotta think about it from my perspective, right? This is like my first time ever being.
No, of course. Believe me, I totally understand. You still listening to it as a listener, so I get it.
Exactly, yeah. And outside of this circle, right? Ain't nobody really talking about boxing like that, yo. So it's kind of rare, So I just always appreciate all the callers like that, man. Just kind of bring that energy, man. I was just telling Amin in the chat, man. Amin is just one of my favorites, man. Dude, I've been fucking listening to this show since Stitcher time, since you had Vic on here, bro. Since you had fucking Nauta. Remember that guy? I thought you said your name was Nelson.
Yeah.
Remember that guy?
Yeah. He's the king of the flyweights.
Yo, I was just gonna mention him earlier when we was talking about the lower weight, because he's very knowledgeable about the lower weight classes, man. But I've been listening for a while, man. I just appreciate callers like Amin and
well, let me slide in one of these long time callers right here. I got sliding in. This is Rick in San Antonio. What's up?
Hey, what's up, crew?
What's going on?
Hey, man.
How's it going?
Hey, you doing good, man? Doing good. Fucking 49ers fucked over those Cowboys. But anyway, getting onto the topics at hand. Taylor-Serrano, it's a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to roll with Taylor on that one. I'm going to go ahead and say Taylor pulls that one out. But we'll see what happens. I mean, that's a good fight for the ladies, and just overall boxing, period, the best versus the best. When it comes to Canelo, man, and his next opponent, the rumor is that we'll be disappointed. I don't know. I mean, he fought he fought the top guys at 160, and people were still disappointed. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I would like to see the Charlo fight just to kill some narratives. Not only that, I think it's just going to add to his resume, what he's already done, what he's already accomplished. We know he's going to 175. Joe Smith, what I saw last night, I mean, yeah, man, I don't know what to say, but I think that would be an easy snatch and grab for him. But I think Bebo's a real test there, and then of course better be if once that gas gets fixed. He got fucked up the other night, that headbutt, man. And then who else was on deck? Oh, Valdez and Stevenson, right? Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good one. That's a good one right there, man. I can't even, complain about that at all. I hope people aren't bitching and complaining too much. That's a hell of a fight right there. I would love to see that fight before Shakur moves on up, takes on the bigger dogs at 135. So, man, but I think it was, what's his name? Benson from the Twitter. I don't have Twitter, but Michael Benson, or what's his name? He came out with a Twitter feed saying people might be upset. What is up with that? Anybody got feedback on that? Why would we be upset? What's the rumor?
And that's what we trying to figure out, brother. Nobody knows why, but it's not Benson. It's Salvador Rodriguez Chava of ESPN. He is the one that said it, and that's just the English translation. Okay. Well, overall, man, I know time is short, but I'll just say this: whoever Canelo fights, bro, it's not going to be anybody that's not a fucking champion or somebody who's not in high contention to fight him. It's either going to be fucking Charlo Benavidez. We can go Charlo Benavidez, Andre. Even any of those three, perfectly fine. 175. Like I said, Joe Smith, fucking who else do we got? Better be and Bivol. Come on, man. Like it's all personal opinion in my opinion. But I think whoever he's gonna fight is gonna be a damn good fight, and let's get ready. I'm ready for the announcement. Let's go. Thank you for the call, guys. Appreciate it.
What if it's another Yildirim or another Rocky Fielding? How you gonna feel about that one? I just want to know.
Rocky Fielding and who?
Or Avni Yildirim, somebody on that caliber.
Are you talking about Canelo fighting somebody on that caliber, that level?
Yeah, like his next fight, somebody on that level. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I wasn't hyped for those fights at all. You know.
You talking about if he's trying to satisfy a mandatory?
I mean, he may have mandatories. I don't know. He is undisputed, but I'm saying whether it's a mandatory or not,
90 seconds.
Next fight, would you be excited about something like that? Me personally, I wouldn't. You know, even Floyd Mayweather when he had to face in opposition, it was still an Andre.
I mentioned the 6 top guys, and that's it. I mean, if he has to satisfy one, fuck it. But we all know where we stand, what we want to see. Thanks, guys.
All right, Rick. Thank you for calling in. On that note, gentlemen, let everybody know where they can find you right after I give out this last couple of super chats. Looks like Chick Chickarelli on a check-in, and I believe one other. Let me double check here. Nope, just Chick. Coming in, he says, for this incredible, I guess he meant show, you make my day and night. Thank you, Ness. Thank you, champ. Where can they find you?
King Invest61 on Instagram. Also, King Invest61 on YouTube for them championship rounds for all your boxing news and notes. Definitely on the flagship shows at any time I can. I'm your man here on TBV, the Boxing Voice. Best podcast. Best boxing podcast out there.
And Matthew.
Matthew M562 on Instagram.
All right, Jose, any social media?
I'm not on nowhere yet, but I might have to make a social media account. You know, I got personal stuff, but I ain't trying to have everybody follow me on that. I'm trying to keep it low key. So maybe I'll make one. You know, who knows? But
all right.
More to come.
Last super chat slotted in from the Axiom that says, what made Floyd popular is him aligning himself with pop culture. You know, Drake will be in the building. Floyd had 50. Shakur has Drake. # James Prince. Yeah, wasn't Kanye? What fight was Kanye at? Looking crazy, though.
Wasn't that the Shakur fight with Jay Prince?
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
Kanye,
asking.
I believe Kanye was at the Shakur fight with Jay Prince.
Where did the Shakur fight take place? That'll let you know.
I don't
Do you
remember,
remember?
man. I don't remember.
It was in.
It was Shakur Heron. Shakur Heron. Where was that?
Atlanta, right?
Damn,
Atlanta.
Kanye went to that? Wow. Okay. Pop.
He was making that album at that time, that Donda album at that time, maybe.
Nah, I think it was out already.
Was that already? I mean, he might have been still hanging around. I don't know.
He was performing it. I think he was in New Orleans at the Superdome, and then he might have
but
been
that's still a
performing it.
James Prince connection, and that's a good look.
No, for sure. No, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Well, fellas, tomorrow we got Cody Crowley should be on the show, so yeah, we're gonna find out how he feels about being passed over a bunch of spots on the rankings and in the IBF rankings, and you know, our good friend Castillo Clayton getting that opportunity, or at least those high rankings.
Might be some Canadian bacon right there, man. You know, they both Canadian, so you know it's interesting to hear, you know, the feedback. Cody Crawley's a Canadian, you know what I'm saying? Castillo Clayton's Canadian.
Didn't Crowley get the bigger win? Most recently, at least?
Over who? Because Lipinets is Clayton's win. Who's Crawley's win?
No. Crawley just upset somebody, and Lipinets is not Clayton's last win. He fought.
No,
Lipinets.
biggest win. You said biggest win. Biggest win.
Well, okay. What was Crawley's last one? I don't have it up, unfortunately. Let me
Whoever it was, that was his biggest win.
Oh, you got the Nintendo mic. Is that you, Matthew, over there? Killing me. All of these new guys got to get these mics right. I tell you that. That shit was hard to deal with today. I try to keep a straight face. So he just upset Quadrichulo, man. He took Abdurakorov's spot. Abdurakorov been in that mandatory position for like 3 years. Crowley took that spot. Let's not forget.
Definitely the bigger win.
And I don't know. No, I'm just saying. You know what? Who'd you say? What was the other one? I guess Lipinets is still more known. He's still more known. But Crowley should have put himself in position, and that's the reason we get him on the show, because it's like, yo, what happened? You get this Quadrichulo win, but then, you know, you don't even move. And Lipinets, he beat him a long time ago, but then he had this other just nothing fight, and he moved. And by he, I mean, obviously, Castillo Clayton. But, yeah,
hey,
man.
yo, real quick. I know you guys were talking about Clayton and whatnot, but I just had a little epiphany right now because, you know, we in 2022, it's January, right? We're talking about all these fights potentially happening, right? So my question is, what let's say 3, right? Let's just give 3 examples. What 3 fights do you need to see in this 2022 to be able to say, you know what? It wasn't like a bad year of boxing, you know? Like, give me 3 fights that you guys would probably think of right now that you need to happen in order for you to say, man, 2022, it wasn't that bad. Because, you know, 2021, we got Tyson Fury and Wilder. That's the fight that I was looking most forward to that year. You know, they killed it. That was a classic. I was happy, you know? Not much else happened other than that. You know, Canelo did his thing, but it was like not like a super eventful year, right? Because of COVID. So 2022, what are y'all thinking?
Man, I don't know, man. 2021 treated us so well that I'm not really expecting to be disappointed. I think that there's a lot of momentum from 2021 that's going to spill in, just like Camboso's beating Tio and already talking about, you know, possibly facing, you know, Haney. So
yeah, for sure. I think 135 needs to get off. There you go. Yep, that too.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So many fights that's gonna happen. Look, we just got Valdez and Stevenson, you know, for the most part, right? So it's still some other shoes that gotta drop before I start, you know, claiming and saying what is not gonna happen. Yeah.
So like if Shakur and Valdez happens, that's good. I would consider that one. I would probably say maybe something at 135 has to jump off, or 147. One of those two divisions, something needs to happen. We need to have like a conclusion or some step towards a conclusion, right? Which is either Spence and Terrence Crawford, or I'm thinking maybe like Kambosos and Haney, or Kambosos and Tank. Like something big's gotta happen there. And then maybe like in heavyweights, right? Like I mean Canelo, you know, if he could maybe start unifying at 175, great. But I'm not like super excited about that. I'd rather something happen like in heavyweight to be like my third big kind of like event, right? Tyson, Dillian White, Tyson Fury, and Usyk.
Yeah, I would
if Usyk wins, right? Something like that, you know, I would be cool with that. That's a lean year for me. I like that.
I want the heavyweight undisputed fight, hopefully this year.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, catch me tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. for the next one. Peace.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Peace.
All right.